honestly.
Who, me?
Yeah. I made sure to do separate audio options, and I
Yeah.
absolutely made sure that you can be heard. Like, I almost maxed out Discord, so you 100%
Right.
should be heard. God forbid if you're not heard.
It's like, God forbid if you're not heard on this podcast.
I would wait, bro. I had to edit the entire cast just so you can be heard.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
I listen. It was painful. 2 hours of dialogue. Like, bro. Okay, no, that's horizontally. I'm doing great. Welcome in with horizontally again. And but no, the what was going to say?
Dude, I just got like rotated 180 degrees. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know if
know.
you
I was
saw
trying to.
that.
Yes, I was trying to like fix your thing, make it so it's like the opposite direction. Because I think it made more sense you facing like right than left at like nothing.
It just looked like I was getting raptured and I'm like screaming. I'm like, ah!
Bro, the Shadow Realm calls.
He's doing great. Received some news and ecstatic. Doesn't even begin to describe how happy I am about it. Dude, that is awesome. I
That's
absolutely
amazing.
love to hear that.
I don't even think they'll like their group can hear us even.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not yet.
This is the thing I found interesting about the chats. It's more as they can sorta they can hear my thing, but they just can't hear like Fel's thing since Fel did technically deafen.
Right. All good.
There's nothing wrong with
Wow.
that.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay.
All right.
Oh my god. I'm going to assume I have to start this dialogue again.
Well, I don't know. I guess we haven't really like figured out our like official intro.
When last we left the cryptid crew, they were in a bit of a pickle, talking about how they were going to start episode 2 of Cryptid Crew.
Bro, for real.
Wow.
Do it like a Saturday morning cartoon or something.
Or like a late night radio show. Like just get the radio just end. I think
Yeah.
my overlay looked too bright. The dude does the radio show, but still, something can work out. But yeah, this is the wonderful cryptid crew, and we're back for yet another episode. I was gonna. Well, we can have like some simple dialogue before like we actually start. Hopefully, everyone's having a wonderful day.
Yeah. I am absolutely having a really good day. I was going to ask when's the last time you saw a cryptid, huh? See one on your way to work the other day or something?
You know, I barely leave this little house that I live in. So like,
So it's been a little bit.
Can you scoot over just like a scooch to the? No, now you're gone.
I don't even know where I went. Hold on.
I don't know where you went either.
Bro, he just disappeared. What? No.
Yeah, that's like perfect. Does that work for your stream?
Perhaps, but it should be fine.
No, if you want to come a little bit closer to me, that's okay.
That's all good. It should be fine for the most part.
Okay.
I did.
You're sitting in a very comfortable chair.
Sit in a very comfortable. I can't really sit on the chair because, like, if I did, I just can't see.
I'm sorry.
Well, also, like Nishi, you would more just be like placed. You would more just be placed upon the chair. You don't do much for the sitting. You are a pumpkin.
I don't have legs.
You're
I thought
you're a precious pumpkin, but you are in fact a pumpkin.
You're still just a pumpkin.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Probably the last time I had an interaction with a cryptid is when I was talking about last time about seeing the gigantic shadows on the mountain.
oh
So
yeah, I
that
remember
was
that.
that was
Uh,
like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago at least at this point, maybe longer.
Sometimes I see things
yeah.
in the corner of my eye, but you know, it may or may not be a fiction of my imagination. But that's just me being home alone a lot during the
Yeah.
Oh my
weekdays.
god. I just remembered something, and I need okay. This is what I'm gonna do next time. I'm gonna talk about it next time. Um,
Yeah.
the little your little home gremlin sprite things. Oh my gosh, I have so many stories about those. I just remembered that. I'm making a note of it in the Discord so I don't forget.
What?
Giving ideas.
Oh my god. Holy shit. Or do I just talk about no, because I didn't do any research. I don't have any research, I just have anecdotes, so I need to bring research to go with the anecdotes for next time. Okay.
I mean, if everyone wants to start with the question, does a leprechaun count as a cryptid?
That's a good question, actually. Um, so let me ask you this. So, what exactly is a leprechaun? Like, do you consider them like a humanoid? Like, are they technically a human creature of just small stature with magical powers? Like, what exactly is that?
So
There's a-
this was go Nietzsche,
I
go
was
Nietzsche.
gonna say there's a lot of words I can use. I would mostly use a greedy midget.
Oh,
I feel it wouldn't be right to say though.
more more akin to like human then, right?
I mean, based on like all the myths and that, they are like basically dwarves. Humanoid, just a little shorter, to be honest. If you like really think about it,
Yeah.
there's like only rare protections of them like using magic, but that's like very few.
Yeah.
So I
That's
guess I guess it comes down to do we consider cryptids to be specifically like in a category, or do things of like mythological origin, would those also count as cryptids?
yeah, that's a good question. I suppose like if we're basing on like the literal definition, it's just like a creature that isn't confirmed by science yet. But that's also kind of interesting because there's
So
several cryptids that are like technically creatures that do exist, but maybe don't necessarily exist anymore. Like they also have like prehistoric cryptids, you know?
hmm
Um,
hmm
Like the
hmm
Loch Ness
so
monster, like
yeah,
Nessie.
yeah. Um,
And I mean, you could also argue that humanoid or human appearing is still a creature. I
yeah.
mean, even in like regular speech, people will refer to themselves as like a creature of habit and stuff. So then, aren't we all actually creatures? I mean, granted, the three of us are like, look at that, we got fucking frog, a
Yeah.
pumpkin, and a weird bunny. But you know what I
Hold on.
I think
To
we're
fix that
cryptids if I ever did
statement,
see one.
I mean, Frog's a puppet, technically.
mean? He is.
Yeah, I'm like a legally distinct Muppet born. I'm like Jim Henson's like little abomination that he accidentally created and then like tossed in like a dumpster behind Schlotsky's or something.
You had one too many chilies. Many. Worst case scenario, you just start speaking the chilies menu, and that's when it's a problem.
Bro, I don't even know the last time I went to a Chili's.
I
one
think.
of one of my past relationships had an unhealthy obsession with Chili's, so I feel like we went to Chili's probably 3 times a week, and I got so burnt out on Chili's, dude.
You
I
know,
couldn't
you know
stand it.
that's
Chilies aren't even
that's
that
fair.
good. Taco Bell is better.
Yeah.
I feel like someone may very well disagree with you on that, but also
Someone may
I get it.
disagree.
Yeah, true. Like it's not even necessarily that I have a problem with Chili's. I just had it so often that I was like, I don't want any more. No more. Yeah.
I mean,
That's essentially what
you
I'm
can
at
always
with it.
surprise yourself and order from the kids menu.
That's true.
You know
Honestly,
what?
the kids menu is kind of a nice refresher sometimes.
I used to do that a lot when I was where I used to live and I was ordering food. Because if you're ordering it through like an app like Uber Eats or something, you can order the kids menu. Nobody fucking knows who's ordering it, so I would order off the kids menu all the damn time. Because at a lot of these places, even the kids menu, you get so much fucking food, it's
Right.
ridiculous. So like a kids meal fills me, and it's like half the price, and it's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. And dude, it's like part of me almost wants to like call them at some point and be like, "Do you have to be a kid to order off the kids menu?" And if they say
Yeah.
yes, I just go quiet for a little bit and I say, "I have a kid I would like to order for."
See,
No,
but no,
I
like you do,
mean,
because they lose money. They don't make as much money by having adults order off the kids menu if you're there in person, because then they can judge you and shame you and be like, "No, you can't do that, sir.
it gives me
You are not
the
a child."
it gives me that
I'm a
feeling
child
of
at
like
heart.
that one Ted movie where the guy goes up to Ted's like, you know that like tricks is for kids. If I buy this, nothing would happen to me, right?
That was wasn't that Liam Neeson?
I
Yeah, I think
I think so, but like the
they were
dude
like
was
making a parody of like Taken with that scene.
like they were so, like the dude was so like hesitant to buy a thing of tricks, and the dude's like, "Bro, nothing's gonna happen to you. Like, calm down. It's not that serious." Bro thinks he was going to like get sniped the second he ordered a thing of tricks. We have like
And yet,
plenty
it was
options.
Liam Neeson confirmed by Duke in the
Oh yeah,
chat.
Green Villain's the MVP for that.
Bro.
Um, but speaking of talking teddy bears and strange creatures and even kids menus,
Yeah.
we have something else that we have been researching. Would we like to talk about any of our topics, or we want to talk about anything else before we start?
I'm about ready.
You're about ready?
I'm
Okay.
about
Oh,
ready.
hang on.
Yeah, yeah,
I do think
yeah,
there's an important point being brought up in chat that I just
yeah.
realized what it is that a lot of sea monsters used to be mistaken for a point made by Malik. It took me a second. It took me until you mentioned whales to realize what you were talking about. Do you guys know what often confounded people in the past in the great big ocean?
A cat.
Uh, yeah. I don't know. What is it?
It's whale dick.
Oh
Whales
hell
have
yeah!
real funny looking penises.
Bruh.
After like a long time at sea, the sailors are just like, "What is that?" And they're like, "Oh, that's a dinosaur, I reckon." It's like this fucking clearly like phallic shape, but they're like, "No, it must be like a long necked dinosaur. I don't know what the hell that is."
Right.
It could be anything.
Also, Duke, I am a lagomorph. Excuse you. I am bunny. That is lagomorph, not rodent. There's a distinctual difference.
A single tortilla to sustain.
She could.
It's fine.
Tortilla's
It
flat.
counts. And they're the good Mexican ones too. I gotta tell you, really sorry. It's
No, you're
I
good.
go on a fucking tangent. Okay, having like getting the tortillas that are, you know, like the Mexican brand made in Mexico and everything, compared to like fucking Mission brand
Yeah.
tortillas are so bad.
Listen,
Agreed.
I
Dude.
like my tortillas as long as I'm having eggs with it.
And,
Like,
Yeah.
like,
best.
and it's probably because I do eat them plain, or like I mentioned earlier, with like a thin layer of peanut butter or queso on them. But like, so when I was in Oklahoma, all they had, the best brand they had was Mission, and oh, it was so sad. It was so sad.
Dude, one of the things I absolutely love to do is I like to go to like actual what was it? Like Latin food markets and stuff.
Mhm.
And I like to grab like the actual raw tortillas, and I like to get a
Yeah.
bunch of those, and then just like toss them on like the stove for a little bit and everything. Just like flip them to both sides, dude. Those are like the best tortillas whenever
My
you just like
mind
take
went to
Oh,
like
the
a couple
wrong
extra seconds to cook
place.
them.
that definitely
I thought I
would
thought
be
you were
so
about
much better.
to I thought you were about to say I throw tortillas at people windows.
Throw tortillas at people's window. Yeah, sometimes, you know.
Hey, thank you for the 30 months. Oh my goodness.
Bang, welcome in, welcome in. How's it
Welcome
going today?
in.
We have the noodle. Yeah, well, in my little house where I have a kettle and a toaster to cook things with, I just eat the tortillas out of the
Do you
package.
put steak in
Yeah,
a
completely fair.
toaster? Like how
I
morally
have
like
seen that.
incorrect how morally incorrect it is to put a steak in a toaster.
What if
Uh,
furthermore you also made sure it was like one of those Dollar Tree steaks?
Flour. I don't really like corn tortillas. That might be controversial.
Oh, what?
It
No, I'm just
depends.
kidding.
Well, okay. Like
That's the real
sometimes
critique
it's
here.
fine.
That's the real
What?
you
What's the
not
real
liking
critique?
corn corn
No,
tortillas.
corn tortillas. But like, when it comes to like tortilla chips, corn tortilla chips are the best.
True, true.
But I don't know. It's just it depends. And again, when I'm eating them out of the package and very very cold and plain, flour is good.
Completely fair. I like corn tortillas whenever it comes to like street tacos and stuff, and then I prefer flour tortillas whenever it comes to like burritos.
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, that
They're
that
not
was
bad.
exactly it.
I like
Right.
anything that won't kill me.
Completely valid.
Hi, mutant.
Hello, mutants. Welcome in, welcome in.
Thanks,
He said
Victor.
then fry it a bit. Green villains. Green villains definitely has opinions on the matter.
Hold on, you
Well,
don't have to
yeah.
deep fry it.
But no, like I don't have I don't really have access to a kitchen. Like, and especially when
Yes,
I'm
you do.
already like full of anxiety just eating. I can't bring myself to go be perceived by others and use someone else's kitchen, okay?
So no, hear me out. You get a pot, you go outside, get the magnifying glass, start a small fire, and just start cooking back there. You don't
Let's
have to
start
use the
a
kitchen.
fire in my friend's backyard.
Okay, and if they see you cooking it, they will respect you. If
I
if
have I just
if you burnt down the backyard, is it really your
no.
fault?
Yes. Yes it
I
is.
kind of want to disagree with
Entirely
that.
is. It is just a bread pops out toaster. I got it for like $15 off Amazon.
Girl failure, man. Wait until you meet boy failure. We're not the same.
Hell yeah. Dude, I love talking about tortillas. Oh my
Those are
god.
really good.
Yeah. Dude, it's like making me like my mouth water because I'm like, oh, I want some tortillas now. I don't even
Girl,
need anything in the
boy failure
tortillas.
is
I just
just
want
clumsy
tortillas.
autism. Yeah, that describes me perfectly.
Same.
There hasn't been a day where I haven't cut myself on something, and my mom just looks at me with concern, just like, bro, you good?
I looked down at my legs this morning and I was like, where did that big long scratch come from? What happened? I have no idea.
Stick a
I
toaster
have no
oven in a
idea.
throne bun where more take up almost half the space.
No. No, because you don't understand these outlets are not stable, okay? I couldn't run like the heater and the kettle at the same time in the winter. I don't think it can handle like a microwave or a toaster oven, you know?
Have you?
So it's fine. Then I would have to go out into the woods to reset the breaker.
It's like phasmophobia,
Look,
but they can only use two things. Or technically three
I'm
if we're not counting the computer. What about toaster oven? Hold on. Hear me out. Bluetooth hose.
Yeah.
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth hose, dude. That's what's up. It's just gonna like absorb the moisture from the air. And, yeah.
I think the correct term there would be an osmosis hose.
Yeah.
Nah, Bluetooth hose is better.
What about toaster, oven, air fryer beats Bluetooth speaker, microwave, dishwasher, TV?
Okay.
Wait, hang on. My brain's not understanding. Are you saying a toaster oven / air fryer / Beats?
Yes.
Like as in like Beats by Dre?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
Name brand.
Better than speaker, microwave, dishwasher, TV?
No,
It's also a smart product, so you can play like games on it and stuff.
no. It's Beats by
You
Dr.
can game on your
Dre.
fridge.
Yeah.
You can text from it too.
Yeah.
You can, yeah. Check your emails.
You're gonna
Doom
chunk
scroll.
the whole game on there. See how powerful it is to run Cyberpunk.
Unironically, you could definitely run Doom on that setup.
I mean, you run
You
Doom in
could.
anything though.
Yeah.
Have you not
that's
seen
true.
someone run it on the pregnancy test? I mean, it's
Yeah.
I'm gonna start playing Doom tomorrow, actually.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, it's just
which one?
side note. Doom Eternal.
Okay, that's
Sweet.
Yeah.
Dude, the music always goes so hard on Doom. Even the original.
It
good. Yeah,
does.
if you go out in society and you start listening to the Doom soundtrack, you just feel violent for some reason.
I don't think so. As a definite metalhead, I would hard disagree with that. Fang, I feel like you shouldn't though. That would just lead to so many more problems, and your poor insulin pump already struggles.
Yeah, actually, don't listen to what I said. I'm a bad influence. I was like, hell yeah! That sounds fucking cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. We're gonna focus. In.
We're gonna lock in.
Gotta lock in. So who wants to start?
I think my ADHD is really bad today. I apologize.
Okay, Phil starting. We let Phil start.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna start. Cool. All right. So, it's a reminder. This is Cryptid Crew. We're gonna be talking about cryptids and stuff. So, I have for us today the Alaskan giant polar bear.
Ooh.
Hold
This
on, I don't
is-
think I heard you right. You say polar bear?
I did say the Alaskan giant polar bear.
Ooh.
It is different. Okay. Before you just come to me and you're like, wait, but isn't that just a polar bear? No. No, you don't understand.
I mean, to be honest, I mean a polar bear is kind of. I would put it in the degree that it's kind of built different to begin with, but like, go on.
They are. You know, polar bears have like figured out how to open up people's doors.
Did you know?
Like a door no longer stops a polar bear. Like it will just open it up for you. Be like, hey, what's up, man? I'm in your house. Get lost, or I will kill you.
This is for everyone. Did you know a polar bear is the only animal that go out of their way to hunt human? Because if you look at all the other animals, they don't hunt human. If anything, they avoid them if possible. Polar bears just like, nah, that's my food. Polar bears
definitely do go out of their way to attack people. Yeah. I mean,
so we were talking about how like prehistoric, how like some cryptids there's like prehistoric versions of it. There is conjecture that this is related to the Ursa maritimus tyrannus, also known as the Pleistocene polar bear, okay, which was a foot bigger than modern polar bears on average. So, yeah. So it is at least a whole foot bigger than your regular polar bear. And there have been sightings of this creature, not just in Alaska. It's been seen in parts of Alberta, in Quebec, in Greenland, and even in London, which actually is where a fragment of the Ursa maritimus tyrannus was found that like helped scientists figure out that like this version of polar bear actually existed. So it's kind of been seen around the northern hemisphere, and I wouldn't be surprised if like maybe somebody saw it in like Svalbard, for example, and around that area, which is, for those of you who don't know, that is the settlement that is the closest to the North Pole that exists on Earth. So,
Interesting.
it's on a little island.
I mean, to be frank, I can't really say if it's bigger or not because almost everyone's bigger than me, for starters. And then,
So-
flat out too, if you see a polar bear going to you, you're not going to take a minute and be like, "Oh, that one's bigger." You're just gonna like go the other direction.
That is true. That is true. However, noted this is like a pretty significant size increase.
Right.
So, you know, you may have seen polar bears like maybe in an exhibit, and so like it's a large bear. Don't get me wrong, but this seems to be like significantly bigger. And what's interesting too is there is an oceanic cryptid that comes from the same region of Alaska, based off of some of the like native religions there, and I'm gonna butcher this so bad. So like I'm sorry, I barely speak English.
Me don't speak.
Known as the I barely speak English.
And it's been you.
It's the Kogogi Kogolak. Yeah, the Kogolak. Which is said to be a 10-legged polar bear.
Ooh.
It used to attack Inuit villages according to their legends.
Okay.
So,
and are there like multiple of those, or is there just like, is it like a legend of like one specific like 10-legged polar bear?
so the Kogliak was a being that was the thing, basically a polarpede.
It reminds me. It makes me a bit concerned because, like, what type of predator were they dealing with for them to evolve in that way? Like, it
So
has to be something crazy.
there is a theory that the Kogliak was actually due to mass hallucinations. Hey, Goblin. Because, you know, at that time you maybe weren't eating the best food or had enough food, and really what the villagers were seeing were just very large polar bears walking with their young. And because, you know, it's white on white, right? Like everything blends in the snow.
I mean,
If you ever been
technically
around,
white.
but they do kind of blend in. But like,
Yeah,
if
that's because
if
their fur is crystal. So the fur is like see-through. Only reason why it's white is because snowfall on it, and they can just blend in super well due to it.
yeah, so exactly, Duke.
It got to a point where there's a saying that if you see a polar bear, that means it's hunting you.
Yeah. If you see a polar bear, you're screwed. Go the other way.
Or you can stand your ground and never back down.
But like, it is speculated that is likely what people were seeing. Here, actually, what I'm gonna do. I should have done this. Before, but you know, it's fine. We're gonna just that there. I'm gonna drop this in the Discord chat if anyone would like to show it on the on the thing, and then I'm gonna drop it into my stream as well.
Polar bear the long way.
The long. I mean, it's a polar bear plus.
We'll get
Polar
better
bear.
at
Goblin says
streamlining
that
this
they would
type
win
of
against a polar bear. What do we think? What do we think? Do we think the odds are in Goblin's favor here?
No.
No, you're very quick to not have faith in our resident goblin.
Listen.
Yes, we're listening.
Either the polar bear and you dying, or you're dying, right? Because let's be honest, a 10-leg polar bear is not gonna go well.
So this is the an artist rendition of what that may have looked like. As we can see, like very possible. It was just multiple smaller polar bears were walking very closely to another.
Do you think that could have been multiple polar bears in like a giant trench coat of fur?
Yes,
Yes,
that is exactly what I think. Oh no, my thing just crashed. Hello?
No.
No.
No, I need it. My notes. My notes.
No.
Go on. Start your thing without the notes and see how far you.
We have to juggle. We have to. Nietzsche, you and I have to make up facts about this while we wait. Also, did you know that this thing's favorite food is instant cup noodles, specifically the maple pancake and syrup flavor ones that are more of a novelty thing and are kind of gross.
It seems a pretty far fetched, one may say, but this polar bear looked like it can just borderline mob another polar bear just because.
Yeah. Sometimes it actually does do that. This is actually one of the few polar bears who also knows how to play indie music. So sometimes you'll actually see this thing kind of scratching at like washboards and stuff, or just like playing the acoustic guitar, and like it like sings, but it's not very good at it, but it tries, and that's the most important thing.
If you meet this polar bear, your game mode instantly goes to friendly fire.
Yeah, something like that. 10-legged polar bear sounds like a design for a Pokemon. It kind of does. It sounds like it would start off with like maybe like 6 legs and be like a cute little bug-looking polar bear Pokemon cub, and then it would like evolve and get many legs.
That just gives me the Pokemon Dunsparce, where they couldn't come up with a unique evolution, so they just gave it another limp and said that's the evolve form.
Yeah.
If you want the rarer one, it has 2 extra limps, so it's just and they name it, so the Pokemon's named Dunsparce, and the evolve form is called Donsparce, and some people nickname the third one Donsparce. So it's just like.
Speaking of Don, they also talk about cryptids.
Don's so good.
Oh yeah,
It's so good
for the movie.
Yeah, that intro goes dummy hard. But yes,
it does. Okay, I'm back. I'm back with my stuff. I got my notes. So not only is this potentially, if nothing else, like okay, like the 10-legged, it probably was just someone seeing too many polar bears all walking at the same time. It doesn't change the fact that multiple sightings have been of this giant polar bear. And something else I learned about while researching this. We all know the Bermuda Triangle. We're all familiar with this concept.
Yeah,
it is not a.
Yeah.
Yes. Apparently, there's one in Alaska too.
Interesting. And it's like people just go missing there. Or?
Yeah, like the past 20 years, people have gone missing. There's been like more sightings of like unexplainable things. In fact, there was an entire TV series made. I mean, it was just one season, but like still there was enough content for there to be a TV series on the History Channel called Missing in Alaska about this.
I feel like the only problem with that is probably the reason why a lot of people don't know it is because, keep in mind, in Alaska it is hard to find people once they go missing to begin with, due to how possible it is to fall through the snow. I mean, powder snow is not a good thing. There, like even with
Yeah.
I'm in like Detroit right now, and the
Mhm.
powdered snow down here when there was. I almost fell down the steps because of it because it was like lighter than I expected.
I
But
mean,
like
Nietzsche, you're talking to a Canadian. Like, I know. I'm a little
I
bit
know
of
a thing
a,
about
of a
snow.
connoisseur of the snow.
yeah, so like in Alaska, like bro, you can't tell what's really powdered or not. Not only that,
And like,
like
what if
another
there's a
condition.
cave?
Oh yeah, it's just so much. Like so much can go wrong, and it's the same thing with
Mhm, mhm.
what's it called? What's it called? Not Alaska. What's the other country? What's the country that plays on hard mode? The
Australia?
Australia.
Australia. Yes. It's like
Yeah.
down there. Almost everything wants to kill you. The same thing is in Alaska. Almost everything wants to do you
I
in.
I don't think it's as bad in Alaska, mainly because for whatever reason, creatures seem to be more resilient to heat than they are to cold. Like the extreme colds, um, tend to keep it to more just like bears and wolves. And it's a lot harder for like bugs and spiders to really thrive. Just again because that extreme cold will kill them off. Whereas for some reason those seem to do really well in the heat in places like Australia and the desert. Um, I don't know why that is. I don't know why that would be. Um, but yeah, that seems easy. But I think would you guys agree with that? Does that seem like a fair assessment? That like where it's really hot, see it like things are more inclined to like get bigger and like be more dangerous. Whereas then when it's cold, it's less so.
Yeah,
Unless again, it's like a big mammal.
I think so. Interestingly, oh my gosh, I can't even speak. Interestingly enough, whenever you're actually cold, like your internal temperature starts rising to try and accommodate it, so it can actually be like good for like helping like weight loss and like actually slimming down. So I guess using that same logic and reversing it, warmer climates would probably help you actually like grow in size, and actually like, actually become like much larger. So it would make sense that larger creatures are in like warmer climates.
Yeah, 'cause
Or
that's why
something. I don't
like
know.
no, that dude, I feel like that tracks. Cause yeah, in like Australia, they got the massive ass fucking spiders and bugs, and same thing in like really tropical and like hot climates in places where like it stays relatively warm, like it doesn't get, you know, overbearingly cold. Things do just tend to be bigger. I don't like it. Terrifying.
Australia is
Granted,
absolutely horrifying because a cassowary can just like run up on you and just get you.
It's the same thing with I said to people about like Japanese folklore. In like native and US folklore, a lot of the things usually show up due to like more morals or whatever getting broken. While in like Japan folklore, you can get folded just because you breathe wrong.
True,
I
true.
mean,
While in like
uh,
flat out why did I forget that country name already? Not Alaska.
Australia?
Australia. While down there, you can
Yeah.
sit there and relax, and like you would see a spider that would be a giant behind huntsman spider, and you thought you were in a horror game for a minute. That, or you thought you're starring in the
Yeah.
next Stephen King's novel, but like whatever comes first.
Why did an ad for spiders just pop up on my page?
Oh,
That's
Or
a
rather an
uh-oh.
ad about spiders, not for spiders.
An ad for spiders. It's like it's the perspective that you're a spider and you're watching the ad.
No, it's for a spider-free home, which like I need. I had to squash a nasty looking one earlier today. It
No.
was on my wall. I think it was the one that was above my head the other night.
No.
you just gotta
But
get one of
anyway,
those like bug sprays can, open it, put it in your thing, close all the windows and doors, leave it there for a good 30 minutes, and then just air it out.
yeah, probably. Um, yeah, Malik's assumption is that due to the heat, there's a lot more animals can flourish because there's more, and then that leads to more food, which also does make sense. more food, more vegetation, right? Like even though places like Alaska where it's not tundra all like everywhere and not as bad as Antarctica where like it never thaws. But like it does you do get like foliage and stuff. Also goblin, yes. Um depending on, if we're talking about like a drider or something, yes. Um so it's a good time. It's a good time and then yeah, and happy. Um
I do.
The spider is see I stop bro.
because like even polar bears and stuff like they I don't think they hibernate. I don't think polar bears hibernate the same way that like
I don't think they have
other
really
bears
much
do.
privilege to hibernate due to the fact they're like constantly in hunger. That's the reason why they attack humans on sight because they're constantly hungry.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they don't hibernate. If it's a pregnant female, she will den to like make a place to give birth, but otherwise they don't. So they're gonna be active. They're gonna be active all the time.
Yeah.
Um, and then that's yeah, having more food, well, a lot more growth would not make sense that a desperate polar bear would hunt a lot of seals and beluga whales. I think they do. Like, isn't I feel like seals are one of
Yeah,
the
seals is one of their main
Main
like
thing on their diet, I think.
meals. They're one of the
Yeah.
main ones. Like if
I
you
want to
look
say I
at
know
like
that
a
for
lot of
happy feet.
seals, if you look at a lot of seals documentary, seals are usually like almost the top of like any predator's like food chain.
Mhm.
It's usually a seal. I think penguins are like usually near the middle, if not last. The only reason why seals are top because they're usually very huge and that and they're not really good at
Yeah.
land compared to water. So like the second the predator catches them on land, it's easy to catch compared to in water.
And also too, just from like the size of polar bears, like that would take so much fish. That would be so much fish to keep them sustained.
That could probably sustain them for 2 days, if anything, if not a week.
A seal, yeah. But otherwise, like yeah, they'd need to eat a lot of fish. They will also go for walruses and whales too, especially like if a whale's been stranded on shore, they'll go for that as well.
Makes sense. So they're sort of like opportunistic hunters then. I guess
Yeah.
they kind of
Yeah.
have to be in that sort of climate.
Well, and especially even more so now as
Yeah.
climate change is making everything so much worse, and that's why they're going into more human populated areas.
Yeah. They got
Um,
to find the food somehow, you know.
exactly.
But yeah, so I mean, as far as I'm aware, I would assume that polar bears pretty much just hunt anything they can see because there's significantly less activity in frigid climates, you know.
Yeah. There's like almost like even down there, there's almost like no food. I mean, they can hunt fish, but like getting fish is like a task in itself. Not only that, they also have
Hmm.
to deal with four other animals that also requires fish. So it's like a big competition. It's like why compete for something if you can just take out the competition itself?
Well,
Mhm.
exactly. And again, they're big. And if one's even bigger, then it's gonna be chomping on a lot more of the foods.
A grizzly bear isn't as bad to be
They're,
just to point
they're
out. A
not.
grizzly bear is not that bad. Like people
I
have a
mean, it'll still
list.
kill you, but
People have like a list. It's like it's easy to avoid a grizzly and black bear, but the second it's a polar bear, that's when it's like, bro, you better hope you win that fight. Like you have
Mhm.
to give your absolute best performance like you ever given. You better pray to God you never skip leg or arm day.
Well, and even then, like you're not squaring up against that. You are holding your arms over like your head and your neck to try to protect any vital points
There has been a human who
if it
has won
catches
against a
you.
polar bear, actually. They died though.
I mean, yeah, it can happen, but like it's not recommended.
I mean, you're not going to outrun it, to be frank, either.
No, you are not. Yeah, a gorilla would definitely be less terrible to go against than a grizzly bear because again those paws those paws.
I mean, the dude, like the claws alone, it's like they're basically like daggers, you know? They're like, not
They
even that,
are.
they're like razor blades almost. You know? It's like they're like super, super sharp, a lot sharper than people give credit for. I mean, they literally
They
have to
really are.
dull them by like scratching like trees and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Not only
So,
that, I also like disagree due to the fact it's easy to scare a polar bear. Or not polar bear, a grizzly bear. It's like really easy.
They're not as easy to scare as black bears. Black bears are actually cowards.
right.
If you can just like make some noise and seem like you're maybe bigger than the black bear, it'll nope the fuck out. Grizzlies are a little bit harder. Um but yeah, no, polar bears people who live in like really heavy polar bear areas will carry like hunting rifles on them, but it's not to shoot the polar bear if you need to. It's to just like make a loud noise and hope that it distracts the polar bear enough so that you can get as far away from them as possible. Right, because they're heavily endangered. So even if like one's approaching, you don't want to take it out. Like that's basically like your absolute last resort. And in these
Right.
places, there'll actually be like, sorry, this is supposed to be cryptids, and I just apparently have a lot of polar bear
No,
knowledge.
I like the polar bear knowledge because I'm like, it's like making me think, and I'm like, huh, I didn't know all that.
um, but yeah, no, there will be actual what do you call it? Also, I don't think that played. So let me fix that. Um, Yeah, there'll be like full on criminal investigations and stuff if you have to kill a polar bear. Because it's like as serious as if you killed a person. So you should basically take all other steps possible to not have that
I mean, I feel like you should take all
to not have it
steps
be the
to
case.
not like fight anything if possible.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely, but panic, polar bear advancing could be concerning.
It got to a point where warnings for a polar bear is to literally just put your hands up. You're not outrunning it.
Cryptid Talk has been canceled. Tonight we discuss random facts about the world's deadliest animals. I remember watching this documentary about I want to say it was like a saltwater crocodile versus a hippo, and dude, the hippo just tore that thing up. Like it was like because like it was like this thing that like people like caught in the wilderness, and obviously it's like it's crazy because like a lot of people are like, oh my god, why didn't they stop them? I'm like, bro, I'm not about to get in the water against a saltwater crocodile and hippo. I'm just gonna like stay the
Absolutely
hell
not.
away.
Yeah, no.
In Africa, they had this big incident where a hippo just started like killing everything in sight. And that's why hippos in the food chain is considered higher than the alligator because a flat out hippo can borderline crush and kill anything if it wanted to.
Hippos are just really mean, dude. Like those creatures are not as like friendly as like a lot of like the cartoon hippos and stuff are. It's like
Mhm.
they're actually known to be like pretty aggressive.
They attack on
Um,
sight. They're not like elephants
yeah.
who's like a big teddy bear. Like a hippo would not care about anyone. Any more wonderful facts, beloved Moon Bunny?
Um no, no, I think that about sums up what what I've got for tonight, but I'm excited for my topic next time. Now I've got a really good one. So I will go with that.
Hell yeah. I really like the 8-legged, or not the 8-legged, the 10-legged polar bear. I was like, dude, that thing is rad. I want to ride it.
It is.
A glorious mount.
Glory. Just I'm
All
lucky
right.
today.
Nietzsche, do we want to save yours for last, or do you want me to go next?
I
Or
mean,
wait,
what
I
you
guess that's the
want.
same question.
I wouldn't really care. I mean, I can go if you want me to.
I'm really excited for yours. Let's save yours for last because I'm really excited for yours.
Oh, let's go.
Okay. Okay. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I got mine.
Yeah.
All right.
Lay it on us, Frog.
All right. I'm gonna send you something if either one of you wants to put this up. This is the cryptid I am discussing, and I love the art for that. It's so amazing.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
Welcome in, harpsichord. Welcome in.
Harpsichord. Let me Let me.
I'm gonna grab it as well.
Yeah.
Whoa, that is significantly larger than mine. Hang on.
It just takes up the whole screen. Yeah. Yeah,
It
that's my
does.
cryptid. It's that castle with lightning in the back.
There we go.
All right.
This looks like
All
a
right.
Dark Souls boss.
Pretty similar, honestly. So, as you look into this, allow me to enlighten you in the comfy blanket of a story.
Of what this is. Let's go.
Dogs. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. Mankind's best friend. There's a certain companionship that only a faithful animal companion can provide, be it cats, birds, dogs, even. There's something embedded in the human nature that draws us to want to befriend such creatures, to better understand them, and to live alongside them. I wrote alongside them instead of alongside them. I just noticed that. In Scotland, there's a superstition that if a stray dog were to follow you home, it would bring good fortune, especially so if it was a stray black dog. If it comes into your house, it is a sign of a new friendship to come, one that will be sincere, faithful, and caring. Makes it sound like, like this is like, oh, this is amazing. Like, he doesn't look nearly like his picture. Well, let me tell you something. I have done the biggest switcheroo of the century. That is not the friendly dog I was discussing. This, my friends, some cultures believe that black dogs can see ghosts and bark at night to scare them away. Others believe that if you're traveling at night and see a black dog, you should follow it because it may be a guardian dog, leading travelers away from dangerous situations. That's the interesting thing about superstition. What may be true in some cultures may be vastly different in others. My creature for today is a cryptid. It goes by many names, but they all share one common similarity. They are all known as black dogs. The first is this black dog that I have here, known as the Black Shuck. It is said to roam the countryside of East Anglia of the British Isles. The word shuck derives from the British word skuka. I'm definitely mispronouncing that. Skuka, meaning devil.
Yeah, I
So-
mispronounce half the things. I get it.
He said, "Oh, the
Okay.
Scots." Of course, it's Scotland. God damn it.
Hey, those are my
They eat my
people.
tribe. Dude, Scotland has such cool lore, honestly. So
It just
This-
needs a hug.
oh yeah, it's maybe not this one, but so the earliest mention that I could find is actually really interesting. So I'm pretty proud of this. I went through several different mentions of like newspaper articles from that time era until I found something. In 1127, in the Peterborough Chronicle, this is a chronicle detailing events in Peterborough, England. There was an event that happened in the spring of 1127 known as the Wild Hunt. Now, in spring of 1127 in Peterborough, Cambridgeshire, strange things happened. At nights, locals heard repeated horn blasts, and some who were foolish enough to be out in the dark saw ghastly sights. Some people depicted men appearing on black horses and on black goats riding through the woods following black hounds. It goes without saying that this was this wasn't just some like little event that they hold. Like people were like freaking out. Like they're like, what the hell is going on? The locals repeatedly came into contact with what folklorists call the wild hunt. Though it's uncertain what the nature of the wild hunt is, we do have several claims of it existing. Scores of medieval and early modern references to the wild hunt from Western Europe. Uh, what makes the events of 1127 unusual is the quality of the evidence and its early date. We have two separate sources, one contemporary and one written by an author who, though writing as much as a generation later, had lived through the terror. So we have several
Okay.
different accounts of this wild hunt event happening. And he said, "Holy fuck! Look at that black dog." So fucking drunk. We wanted our national anthem to be a unicorn and our flower to be a thistle, aka the flower that could pierce the heart of a Brit. Hell yeah! Respect, mad respect.
It's just because they felt like they didn't have enough
Can't give in to the English tyranny.
um, let me see. Let's see. Okay. The next mention, right, and this is probably the most interesting thing I found in my opinion.
Mhm.
The next mention of something that could be the Black Shuck was one fateful night, August 4th of 1577 is whenever I found that.
That's like 400 years later,
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
In the town of Bungay, England, the story goes that the dog burst through the doors of St. Mary's Holy Trinity Church to a clap of thunder. It ran up the nave past a large congregation, causing the church steeple to immediately collapse through the roof. As the dog left, it left scorch marks on the northern door, which can be seen on the church to this day. Some locals even report the smell of brimstone on the scorched claw marks on the door. It left two casualties behind, a man and a young boy. The spine-chilling event is actually remembered on a plaque in the form of a verse on this church to this day. The plaque says, "All down the church in midst of fire, the hellish monster flew, and passing onward to the choir, he many people slew."
Well, I mean, he slew two people. I don't.
Yeah, it's not...
It
I
kind
mean,
of gives me.
I don't know. I feel kind of like an asshole saying that's not many, but also that sounds like there was a massacre.
Yeah, it does kind of sound like there's like a shit ton of people who died, but in reality, it was just like this evil little doggy just like ran in there and just fucking mauled people. I don't know.
It kind of gives me like
But-
the native like Thunderbird or whatever, where it's both portrayed as good and bad, depending on how you look at it.
yeah, I guess it kind of could be because I mean that's the interesting thing about black dogs is sometimes they're known as guardians depending on where you look, and other times they're known as like ill omens. Specifically, the one I'm talking about, the Black Shuck, is typically referred to as an omen, but it still depends. There there's some interesting things about that though, because apparently I didn't really get the full story, but one of the stories I read said that he only killed those two people. Another story that I read said that he actually left that area and then went on a slaughter in a graveyard as well. So I don't know because there's two different accounts of that. But yeah, so
Maybe
I
they
mean
could
maybe
be
that might
related
make
in
more
a
sense,
degree because it did say
right?
many. I mean, it. I don't think it would say many if it was just two people. But then
Maybe
again,
they're just
some
like that's a lot
things
of people. We don't get many things that happen in this town. Two people dying is like a massacre over here.
maybe
I
it
mean,
was.
that is true.
Like I feel bad because yeah, I mean still at the end of the day people died, but
Yeah. Again, I felt like an asshole making that statement, but it is also.
it's like two people.
Did
Legend where the
people
Harry Potter thing was
follow?
serious.
They
Maybe
follow
now like that's
Homeland Security. Homeland Security.
Homeland Security followed
Oh
you.
no!
U.S.
We got
Homeland
him.
Security. I haven't done nothing.
We
I
got him.
promise.
Dude, that's actually a really good question though. There's like a lot of bleed over with like folklore and mythology uh and like cryptids that just influence so much to this day. I mean, I don't know, like the legend of like this is like completely random, but like the legend of like Sun Wukong has like become so popular that like there's so many media mentions of him exactly by that name. But then there's also like animes like literally Dragon Ball Z, you know, that mention like Goku, and like Goku's literally based on Sun Wukong, you
Yeah,
know.
I mean,
So
Son Goku is like it's not
yeah,
that.
Like when you do like any like when you do any debate about who's like the strongest, Sun Wukong is usually like the top one. Literally
mhm.
because of like how like his his story sounds like someone like took drugs and it was just on a
Mhm.
like high writing the whole story. That's what it feels like. That's how ridiculous this sounds. But at the same time, it's like it's very interesting because like it does connect because like the story it's from is Journey of the West. The Journey of West is
Mhm.
about this monk, but it doesn't start with the monk. It starts with Sun Wukong since he's a big figure, and he
Mhm.
highly impacts like most of the stories. Like a lot of stories related to the Journey to the West connects to Wukong one way or another. That's how big he
Mhm.
You
was.
um hold on. Let me see. Trying to find a certain picture. Like this is gonna be a completely random tangent, but
That's okay.
I think it'd be really really funny. So hold on. I think I found it. I think I found it. Um okay, so there did you know that in China you can actually
Mhm.
get paid to be an actor who basically sits inside of like this little mountain prop and you get to dress up as Sun Wukong and people will walk by and feed you offerings all day. And
Really?
that's an actual job and I'm gonna show you a picture because it looks fucking goofy.
Okay,
I
hang
seen
on.
that. I seen that. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's funny.
You dress
Let
up
me
like
get
Sun
this.
Wukong and yeah.
Let me
This
get
is
this on the
amazing.
chat.
I want everyone to know that despite the fact that I am a Japanese American, I would love to go to China and apply for this job. I would
I don't.
absolutely.
I don't think that your nationality really matters at that point, bro.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I was like I may not be able to play the part faithfully, but I would love to
No,
give it
no,
a
no. You
try.
can like think about it like
Okay.
this, right? I feel like a lot of people who try to pretend to play the part usually like say their opinions in that, even though you could have just got away with it just by keeping your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Like you technically don't have to say
Monkey.
anything. Just eat banana happy.
Yeah, the great
Right.
sage equal to heaven. Yeah, dude, that name goes fucking hard. Like if ever there was a mythology name that went hard, that is it.
Hmm.
Or that is at least one of them, dude. But yes, I got completely distracted. Any questions on the black dog before I continue?
Is it indeed a black dog?
I believe it is. Yeah, at least the counts seem to believe that it is. It's
Yeah.
possible that maybe it could be a dark brown dog, or maybe like a gray dog just caught at night. But I'm willing to believe that it probably is indeed a black dog based on the rumors that we've heard.
That definitely does seem it does seem pretty accurate. Yeah, no, I think can continue.
Okay. Um, at this time, like during like this attack on this church, this creature was actually known as the Bungay Black Dog because of the town it attacked in. In fact, to this day, apparently schools in that area, the high school mascot is actually the Black Shuck, which is kind of
Oh,
interesting. So like they've actually like kind of taken it and adopted it as like sort of like their local creature that they like to have a lot of festivals for, and it's just really interesting to see how their culture has evolved to be like more afraid of this thing to more like welcoming it as part of their culture. In fact, the picture displayed above right here,
mhm.
this is actually a depiction of stamps that are available in that area depicting their folklore.
That is really cool.
Yeah, I
Malik
mean,
also has a question.
yeah.
Um, but he's wondering if the legend of the Hounds of Baskerville is actually a thing that could be related to this.
Yes, I'm actually glad you mentioned that. So, Sir Conan O'Doyle, creator of Sherlock Holmes and Hounds of Baskerville, he
Mhm.
actually did draw inspiration from the Tales of the Black Shuck to write that book. Yeah. So really, really interesting. You said I love how Frog's saying this one right here lets him actually point at it. Yeah, I just like I throw my hands into the air like I'm holding up the stamp, like look at what I got. Look at here.
I did put it directly over you for that reason, so
Yeah, it works
keep the
out
visual up.
perfectly. um but yeah, dude. So that's the interesting thing is that even a book as popular as that, actually drew inspiration from the folktale. Remember to feed your local Vel. That is absolutely true. So far, I know that Vel
Nom,
has
nom,
had
nom.
a tortilla. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, hell yeah. We had a topic earlier about corn and flour tortillas. That was a whole thing.
That was a whole tangent. It's a whole side quest, one may say.
Is when the British have myths like this. Yeah, dude, Bloodborne, honestly, that is my favorite Soulsborne game, hands down.
Me
Elden
too.
Ring is
I
great,
agree.
but Bloodborne is probably my favorite.
I I love the weapons and monster designs of Bloodborne. I think that it was peak, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it
Like,
was
listen,
insanely
as
dummy
much as
good.
I like the remakes and remasters of Dark Souls
Mhm.
1, 2, and 3, bro, just bring Dark Bloodborne back. Like, I feel like humanity be blessed if you bring this game back.
I'm absolutely starving, asking for scraps and scraping my fork against the metal dish, just asking for a remake of Bloodborne on PC. Oh please, FromSoft, please. Anyway,
It,
uh, yeah, but the final in-depth mention of this creature by the name of Black Shuck was by a
Mhm.
man named Reverend E.S. Taylor in 1850 in a copy of Notes and Queries. Now, the interesting thing about this is that Notes and Queries is a long-running scholarly journal with focus more on fact than speculation. So to say that something
Okay.
like this was put in the journal is interesting because it means that whoever Reverend E.S. Taylor was considered a credible source for this. Um, so a credible source of information at the time. Um, he was quoted to say, "This phantom I have heard many persons in East Norfolk and even Cambridgeshire describe as having seen as a black shaggy dog with fiery eyes and of immense size, and who visits churchyards at midnight. The creature is often depicted as an omen of ill death, a bringer of ill omens." So he mentioned the black shuck and how many people he has heard talk about it, and he was considered a credible source. It was not considered speculative. It was considered factual, at least at the time of 1850. So it's
All
just
right. All
interesting that
right.
as all these rumors started to build up, there started to be more and more validity to this, and more like uh, credible sources came forward. Basically saying, "Yeah, no, that dog's real, bro. I saw him. I saw
it's,
him. He done ate my neighbor's kid. I saw it.
he
Like
took
it
a
was,
pill.
yeah." I like how Goblin said Notes and Queries. Hell yeah, Goblin. Hell yeah. That's why I like. You know what? Hold on. Wait. Where's the? Where is it? Where is it?
Where's the
Yeah.
what? Yeah, the gay side.
um. All right. But modern depictions have slowed, but the horrifying tales of the Black Shuck still resonate with certain people of the English islands to this day. It is said that when you hear a howling of a dog late at night, that it is best to avoid looking in the direction of the howl, for although it could be a guardian dog, you may in fact be hearing the cries of the infamous Black Shuck.
unless
Oh
you're
yeah.
wearing
Yeah.
unless you're wearing a dark coat and look like a Bloodborne character, don't go in that general direction.
Yeah, pretty much, unless you're
Mhm.
that. But yeah, it's one of the things I found the most interesting about this research is the fact that to this day you can still visit that church where the incident happened, and you can still assess some of the damage, including claw marks that seem to have scorches on them embedded in the door, and some people report even smelling almost like sulfur or brimstone from the marks. So this could also be similar or related to the myths of the Hellhound.
I was just about to say, like, especially when you brought up the church incident, it was really giving hellhound vibes, like um because that the fact that it apparently can emit any sort of fire and does have the sulfur brimstone smell to it, which, if you're familiar with your supernatural stuff, everyone knows you smell sulfur, automatic assumption is demons. And there's actually some interesting theories about that. This is cryptids, but I could talk about like supernatural theories
I
and
mean,
like research and stuff that has been done.
I feel like in terms of folklore, like, stuff like that does still like fall under it to a degree. Same thing with
Hmm.
cryptids, like all of it falls under folklore to like a good degree. I mean, even like creepypasta would like fall under it, just like an interesting different media to say. Because you do gotta think about it. A lot of people was convinced that Slender Man actually exists. Some like sightings as well, which we can't tell if that's true or not because You know, sometimes your imagination can play tricks on you. You can't really like be too sure.
But okay, so sorry, I'm gonna derail the conversation
Yeah, no,
a smooch.
absolutely.
Because based off of that, there's been a lot of study into like the human hive mind and how how people can perceive things as well as the potential to actually give life to something. There's like it's a similar concept to like a tulpa, which I think is Tibetan. Um, where if you believe something hard enough, you can will it into existence, or you can like alter reality. And a lot of the shaping or the research that goes into this is around like random number generators. You can look up the science behind it actually, because around like massive events in like culture or like disasters, things like that, rather than the random number generator just spouting out this huge variation, it actually will start to like the range in numbers gets like smaller and smaller and smaller. Like it's not like going 1 2 3 4 5, but like it's a noticeable difference in the way it's pumping out those 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 numbers. So there have been like occult researchers who have taken this idea, and then like basically in control groups have essentially tried to create their own deities. Like for example, one of the most notable ones from a few years ago was like using SpongeBob. And so like instead of praying to, a different deity from any of the, hundreds of pantheons, no, they're
Right.
going to SpongeBob. And they were finding that after doing this enough times, they were starting to get similar results as if they were going to to someone someone else as well. I have no idea what the shadow with Alec Baldwin is. I'll be so for real right now. I don't know what you're referencing. So, so with
Shadow
with with
Baldwin should
that,
be like an old show or movie last I checked.
I mean, Alec Baldwin still makes stuff. He was filming Rust and accidentally had somebody die on that set.
Oh,
I
I
know the
remember
most
that.
random shit.
Yeah. It was like the whole prop gun incident, and yeah, that's a
Oh
horrible
Yeah,
yeah, they
story.
made a
Yeah.
lot of
but like
rules
I
on
don't
that.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know what like a movie or show references, but yeah, I'll tell you about something else horrible that happened. I had a point. Fuck, I had a point with this, and now I don't remember where I was going.
Human
Um,
imagination and manifestation,
yes.
right?
Oh, Slender Man. Slender Man. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. So the fact that like people are now saying that like there's spottings of Slender Man, there is a possibility that there does in fact exist now a creature similar to Slender Man, simply because so many people believe it to be true.
I mean, the crime case that happened in it was like
Mm-hmm.
2010, I think it was, probably a little later, when creepypastas was like a big thing. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
still a decently big thing, but it was like a very like peak at that year. Two girls committed murder, saying it's like an
Mm-hmm.
offering towards the said being. It it was
Yeah,
like a really interesting case, which is a whole can of worms in
it is.
itself. But like you
It
can
is.
see how far some people would go for something.
And but like again, if you think about it, you think about how long Slenderman's been in like the zeitgeist and all the games and stuff. It is possible that that is now a thing that exists in the world. We don't know. I mean, could not be 100%. Could not be. Could just be people's imagination, right? Any of this could be, you know, overactive imagination, hallucination. I mean, the claw marks in the door, like obviously something broke into that church that night and killed those people. Um, but could something else have made it seem like it was, supernatural. Maybe.
Right.
Who
And because
knows?
for all we know, it could have been like a wild animal, and maybe people were just hallucinating. I mean, the burns even could have been added on later.
It
Who
could have been
knows?
that
Yeah.
10-leg polar bear.
Yeah, it could have been a 10-legged polar bear, honestly. Hanging out in East Anglia or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. Um, I do have one last picture, and this is gonna be kind of hard to read the text on, but it's mainly just like this is kind of a cool little thing. This is actually from that report from 1577. Um, and that's pretty much the extent of the information I have gathered today for the Black Shuck. But I just thought this was really interesting. I actually found that report that they talked about. Um, this is from the attack on of that church on that day, or on that night rather.
Give me a
Yeah.
second. I'm gonna pull it
Yeah,
up
yeah.
on the
I would
stream,
read
and
it,
we're
but
gonna
I
make it
can't even read
big.
it.
Yeah.
I
thought that
don't
was
know
really,
if
really
making
cool.
it big will.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to
It's
read the
also
text.
ye old English.
Yeah, a terrible wunder wrought very late in the church of Bank, a town so of no great distance from the city of. Yeah, all right. So anyway, that
Norwich,
says things.
It just says things. I
city
like
of
looked this
Norwich.
up right away.
Name of the fourth of its Ogden or something.
Yeah, old
In
English.
the year of our Lord 1577, in a great tempest of something, rain, lightning, and thunder, maybe tempest, the likes where old English words.
Words, yeah, it has words, guys. It has
I
words.
can't read. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. With the appearance of a horrible
English. Old
happen
English word.
horrible happen thing, terribly perceived of the people, then and there
You can always put in
assemble.
ChatGPT.
Drawn in the plain method of combining in something by the artist. So this is their rendition of what it looked like.
That's hilarious because that looks like a goat. That don't look like a dog.
I was gonna say this looks like a fucking goat. I mean the feet are definitely like clawed, right? Like those are definitely clawed feet, but
Yeah.
I mean, then again,
but yeah,
drawings
no,
back
that
then was
looks like a
kinda.
goat.
I mean, drawings back then did kind of make a lot of things look different, to be honest.
No, they did. I mean, the way they used to draw like horses. I'm sure we've all seen the meme of like, you know what a horse looks like, artist. Of course I do. Draw something that does not look like a horse.
They draw everything correctly but a horse for some reason.
Yeah, or cats. Why do cats have strangely human faces?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like everyone tried to draw a cat entirely based off description, but they had lived their entire life not ever seeing a cat.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. But
Mhm.
yeah, that right there is the Black Shuck, and that is only one of several of the Black Dog tales. There are reports of them all over Europe, and there's actually a couple reports even in America that have been seen in recent years.
Do you want to cover those also, or is that your?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't have any
No,
information
that's
on
okay. That's okay. I just was wondering. I just was wondering.
You just start making stuff up as you go. Just listen, I know what I'm talking about. I promise.
I should always slip like one like kind of like blatant like like little like not really I don't want to say lie. I'm gonna say lie. I should just like
Deception.
slip like one little falsehood into like everything that's gonna be like obviously false. Be like, also, do you know that he is like a world championship welder 2025?
Yeah, that'll definitely lend to your credibility. I think that's a good idea.
Sometimes they would just see it welding and like they would go out there and they'd be like, hey, what are you doing by my fence? And then they just see it turn, like they'd see like these like ember like like fiery ember red eyes, and they would just like drop the welding tools and run.
No, it's the frogs, sparklers.
Yeah, it just has sparklers. Oh yeah, I forgot the Loveland frogs. I love those little things.
With their sparklers, and then we had to look up the history of gunpowder to be like, wait, but like, would they have had it? Yes.
Yeah, they would.
In fact, in 11, I was gonna say 1177, but I think it was just 1577, so I think it was like 1123 or something.
Yeah,
They
something
all
like
still would have had gunpowder and fireworks at that
that.
time.
I love the black shuck. It is an interesting cryptid. My toxic trait is that I would absolutely pet that dog.
Oh man, me too.
Same. Get in line. Get in line. We're all giving him pets.
If dangerous
I'm
by
gonna death.
friendship.
Nah. Come here.
If dangerous by friendship.
Exactly. If dangerous by friendship.
All right, and Nietzsche, you have a certain one that you prepared today, and I'm very excited to hear it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I posted the picture in the thing. If you guys want to open that up before I start.
Did you repost it, or is it? Do I gotta scroll?
It's literally
I
the
can-
first picture inside the VC chat.
Oh, in the VC. Okay, sorry. I'm in the chat, and I'm like, I don't see anything.
It's my bad. I realized y'all were posting
No.
everything.
It's totally fine. It's totally. Don't even worry. I just needed to know where I'm going. I just got a little lost.
Our resident snake actually translated some of that
Oh, shit.
1577. Yeah.
Go ahead and read it, Frog.
Okay. A strange and terrible wonder wrought very late in the parish church of Bungay, in a town of no great distance from the city of something with a B, namely the 4th of this August in the year of our Lord 1577, in a great tempest of his word, rain, lightning, and thunder, the likes of which ... I like how ominous it is.
Yeah, how ominous.
That is. Thank you, Fang. That's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, dude.
Okay,
Fully translation to Discord later. Ooh.
let's go.
This is immediately ominous.
Yeah, it is. Wait, I'm starting, or like everyone got quiet.
Yeah, no, wait, it's all you. It's all you have the floor, Nietzsche.
We were basking in
Oh.
fear of the ominous painting. We were actually too startled to speak. In fact,
Nietzsche's cryptid, ugly children.
the ugly children, the scariest monster.
No. So, have you ever looked at the painting and then swear to yourself that it wasn't like the original that you could have saw? Like the picture changed somewhat and you just couldn't tell? Something
I think I know what you're talking about. Where like you look at a painting, you could have sworn that it looked a different way whenever you last looked at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the picture overall just gives you a feeling of uneasiness or just like bad things happening when the picture shows up, which if that did happen, that's a good sign to toss it in the fireplace. But ignoring that part, this is a painting that was made in 1972 by Bill Stoneham called The Hands Resist Him.
The hands resist him?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now,
is that what I see in like the background where there's like all those hands?
Yeah. Now.
So okay, hang on. Sorry, because like I just want to point out that name in and of itself, like that's making me feel all types of concern. Like let's not even take into account the children. Just the name, the overall vibe. Like I don't like this.
It's immediately like something queasy. I feel that. It feels like this like pit in my stomach after, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is really, really interesting.
Which is interesting
Please
because
continue.
so this painting wasn't technically mentioned until 2020 or no 2000s. The reason is because this literally showed up on eBay on an eBay listing. Of course, a couple people looked at it and they pointed at it. It's like, hey, this looks weird, but what's buy it? You have a habit of like going through like Amazon or eBay and you just felt like buying something that looks a little like unsettling, but like would be a conversation starter to just have.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
before I go on with the story, talking about the picture itself.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
the picture that's a door that's behind. It's like a glass door. One of the kids are technically a doll. The other one is
Yeah.
technically living. A little
I,
grass on
I
the
love that you
bottom.
technically.
Technically living.
No, there's many stories relating to this picture.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that happen with this picture. Just I haven't went over all of it yet, but the start. So
Mm-hmm.
this picture has been around or technically gone through. It has gone through technically like for the five families that we know of.
Okay.
Starting with the first person, which is Bill Stoneham, the person who made it itself. Nothing happened, right? I mean, then again,
Mm-hmm.
like if someone makes a painting, you wouldn't think anything happened. The painting then got passed to an old couple that was in California, an elderly California, which was an old brewery. Which this is when some people are mentioning that hey, this painting is cursed in that. Now,
Mm-hmm.
you get these statements from literally the eBay posting. The eBay posting literally says in its description, "Hey, this is cursed. Let's not deal with this." Now,
Hang on. Sorry, one second. I'm getting a raid and I want everyone to be able to hear you. Welcome in, raiders! Thank you so much for the raid. Maybe have a stream. Shout out. Running jailbreak free, enjoy cryptids! We are enjoying cryptids! We're on Nietzsche's right now talking about this horrifying painting!
this
Jailbreak.
painting,
What?
jailbreak.
Please make sure you do any after stream care you need to. Same with any raiders. But if you want to just lurk and listen, I appreciate it so much. Thank you for the bits, Fang.
Welcome in. Welcome in.
All right, yeah. Just I didn't want my raid music to drown you out, Nietzsche, and I want
Yeah.
everyone to hear all of your important
No,
information.
it's all good. Curse item. That's just for me. To my brat. Now, the first person who technically owned the picture
Mhm.
was John Merrily, which was the actor in The Godfather. He said there's nothing that came out of this picture, and then he kind of died, and then it was found in Old Brewery, which was, I mean, technically the family was the second one, technically. But then
Okay.
they kind of put on eBay, which a family the elderly couple has claim that some of the characters in the painting has moved, which to a degree you can sit there and say maybe it's just an act of imagination since it's nighttime. But there have been other cases where one of the people are just missing altogether, which I don't think anyone can mistake a missing character from a painting. I mean, it's only two people. You would know if one gone missing.
Was it like rumored that there were more than two originally?
No, no, no. So the painting technically has two, unless
Okay.
you want to count the
Mhm.
hands as something else. But
But they'd say like one of those two would
one
go
of those two
missing.
are missing technically.
That's
Now, is it
horrifying.
the same two, like the same one that goes missing, or does it change which one is missing,
So
or it doesn't say?
based on rumors, it's mostly
Mhm.
the boy that mostly gone missing, and there's also other
Okay.
rumors saying that the doll is kind of doing harmful things to the boy, which is it goes down the line to the next family that talked about it.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
there's even said that there's like photographic images of, the doll character threatening the male with a gun, which it's kind of skeptical since, most people who had the painting never mentioned anything about like a gun being in the picture. These are just like
Right.
rumors. But a lot of people who did own this picture has claimed that the boy have either gone missing altogether or look like attempting they leave the picture.
Mhm.
Now, anyone who has gone in contact with this painting, which is odd one, some people have actually died within 1 year of owning this picture.
Oh shit.
That's horrifying.
There's been maybe like a couple cases, not like major, but like a couple families have like died within a year owning this. Now, if we talk about like Stoneham themselves, their opinion on the painting, they literally sat there and said, "Oh, it just symbolized like, the hands represent other lives or possibilities and stuff like that." But if you sit here and look at the painting
Okay.
as like just as a normal person, you would just be like, "No, there's no way. Like, who the hell draws a painting with that meaning like this?" But
Yeah.
continue on. There has been other rumors with the kids of the family mentioning that the kids were fighting in the picture, or even the boy crawl out itself, even though there's not no technical proof. There has been a bunch of kids
Okay.
mentioning it. Most of the stuff surrounding with this picture, other than the deaths, has been like rumors or that.
No
Um,
shit.
I'm not 100% sure if it's still on an eBay listing, since a lot of people don't want to keep this picture or painting to say. But there just has been a lot of crazy things surrounded by this picture. I wouldn't want
Yeah,
to own
Thing
it.
actually has a Thing has a good question.
Has anyone been
Um,
keeping track of how many hands? So, to start with the hands, right? Because it's my bad for forgetting. There has been
no,
rumors
no.
of them seeing the hands tapping the glass, or even the hands pulling someone towards the painting.
Mhm.
If anything, some people never counted how many hands there are because there's like so many to really count. But there's
Yeah,
there's rumors that people's like, oh, the hands are tapping. Maybe they see a little more hands than usual, or maybe not enough hands.
or maybe when one person dies, their hands get added. So like it started off with like 7 or 8 hands, and now we're up to 11 according to Malik's count.
Which is just speculation. But then again, to a degree, you can never know because you do gotta think about it. Like, couple have died within a year of getting in contact. This is like a major red flag.
I'm,
Plus, the
I'm not
Yeah.
doll
gonna
doesn't get
lie.
better.
I'm not gonna lie. Like it could just be like now that we've pointed out the picture changes that I'm like thinking about it. But I genuinely, whenever I first looked at this picture, did not notice that little white circle at the top of the door.
Oh, really?
I did not notice that. Yeah, was that always there?
Kitty.
Yeah, it's always been there.
Oh, okay, okay. I was like, is it changing before our very eyes?
It's
Oh.
I mean, and this is a like it's not the physical copy too, so I wouldn't be surprised
this
It
is the
just
picture.
doesn't change here.
if this one isn't affected. But also then that I have a question for you, Nietzsche.
Go on.
You've Sorry, yours is opening up for so many questions.
Yeah,
It's
it's all
great. I love
good.
it.
I answer
Yeah.
whatever.
Um, is there like an image of what the painting originally looked like, or like is there what's being touted around as like the original image of the painting, and is it different from what we see now?
So the picture I pulled up is literally the original
Mhm.
image. Or keep in
Oh,
mind,
okay.
pictures, like good pictures, technically
Mhm.
haven't came out until like, near the flip phone era, if not smartphone era.
Okay,
So
yeah,
this is, you
makes
can
sense.
say this is a recent picture because keep in mind, this painting was made in the 1972.
Mhm.
The painting. So to start with the painting making, the painting was made on oil on a sketch canvas for starters, and oil tend to fade out a bit, but for some reason with this one it hasn't technically fade, which is another cause of concern. And I have took art class, so I know to a degree that oil would change a little bit as time goes on, since many people are handling this picture.
Mhm.
So
I
keep in
mean, is
mind,
it?
this painting also wasn't technically seen until the 2000 place, which that brings up the
Mhm.
dirty. I'm not going to name exactly. I'm just rounding it, but a dirty
Yeah.
a dirty year window of what could possibly happened. Lies for oil, yes, but a dirty year window of not 100% clear what the painting may originally look like. This is just
Hmm.
the most recent picture that we got, or the latest to say.
Um, i- is it now? I don't know. Thank you for the whoops. I don't know exactly like how things work in terms of like paintings, but I do know like there's lots of different like sealants and varnishes you could use. Is it possible that there is something that could have been used in the 70s, like especially, this guy, whoever painted this, seems like, he knew what he was doing. I doubt this was the first painting he ever like picked up and went for. So given that it's only been like 30 to 40 years, would there be much degradation of like the vibrancy of colors?
What if he just picked up the paintbrush and like the voices just guided him to paint that on his first try?
Now, if we talk about like their paintings all together, right? They tend to
Hmm.
do what is the term? It's not abstract. They do a lot of interesting pictures evolving like
Hmm.
humans looking like items. And the one
Yeah.
that looks the closest the human that they got was known as the Strawman Bride, which is 2024, which this person is still going around. They've been making art for like 50 years. But this is technically one of their first paintings. This is technically one of their first ones. And this one, it's not 100% clear of what gave them the inspiration of why they wanted to do this. Like, even in their art gallery, this picture is always mentioned. It's always this one. Like, they done a picture during 2004 called the Resistance at the Therhold, hold,
Hmm.
which is more brighter than the hands resist him. Like, a lot of the pictures he done is a little, like, darkish, but none of them have ever given the feeling as much as the hands resist him, and people are, like, full on convinced that something's, like, wrong with that painting. Which,
Hmm.
like I said, if some people got in contact with this and flat out die, it kind of brings a red flag. But during that time frame, because like let's look at drawing material nowadays, right? So we have
Yeah.
crayons, we have charcoal, we have
Hmm.
oils, and we have what's the other material? It's like it's not like coloring chalk or something like that. Hold on, I have it
Well, I
like in
mean,
my thing. I have it like
there would
literally
have been like what are they called?
or paint.
It's like it's oh fuck, my brain, please. They're halfway in between like crayon and paint. What are they? What? Oh my god, brain! Holy shit, please give me words.
It's
Marker.
marker.
No,
It's
no. What, pastels? Maybe I'm
yeah,
thinking of pastels. I
pastels.
think I'm
Yeah.
thinking of pastels.
But the
Thank you.
thing is, during back then, if we also want to point it out, a lot of big
Thank you
artists
for the
don't use
bits.
pastels. A lot of artists don't use pastels. Like a lot of
Hmm.
older pictures, if you take a step back and genuinely look at it, it's either even like some of the artists I love, it's always either paint or oils. They don't use any other
Yeah.
material like that unless they're doing it for fun. Of course, we're like in a year where, digital art is becoming good, and a lot of like traditional artists want to use like pencils or even like pastels. There's even some cases of people using oil pastels.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
for like a painting like this was done with like oil. It's literally the same material that basically made the Mona Lisa.
Hmm.
So the person probably went for oil because, back then a lot of people was more comfortable with like using like for canvases, it's more easier to use
Hmm.
oil than you can with a pencil or charcoal.
Yeah, definitely.
Which I do gotta say, this is just my opinion. Using charcoal on paper is the worst thing you can ever do. I would not recommend it, guys. Um,
Have never tried.
don't. But Any other questions that any friend may or may not have?
Um,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, here you go first, because I was still kind of thinking of my
Okay.
question.
Okay, cool. I just was gonna give you a chance. So is the guy who painted this still alive?
Surprisingly, yeah, the last art they made was 2024, which was like last year.
So what does he say? What does he say about this? And then also, what is the doll holding?
So it looks like it's some like sort of cup. I do need to zoom in like a little close just to be 100. But it's like a bottle. They're like holding some
But like,
sort of bottle.
has he has so what does he say? What does he say about this and about the speculation of it being cursed? Has he made any comment?
So from what I seen, it it seems like they want to keep it as a hey, it's flat out like haunted or whatever, or just don't go like
Mhm,
literally if you go on their like studio page, they
mhm,
literally you see every single painting they done, and then you see the hands with system painting,
mhm.
and they literally have the story about it, and they sit there and they they talk about how fake it is. They never like exactly say that hey it's haunted or say it wasn't haunted. It's more as hey
Okay.
I made this picture, this what it means, and if you guys think this way, hey, that's your thought process, and they just don't say anything more about it. Like they never go in
I,
detail about this painting. Like it's as
I
vague.
can I can get that, like, especially to keep it from like a um intrigue standpoint, right? Because if they don't confirm or deny, it leaves it open for question and discussion. Um, but sorry, I had another thought. Oh my god, and I
Yeah, go on.
I lost I lost it. Oh, what does how does the website describe the painting?
So I'm gonna read this. This is like maybe like
Yeah.
3 paragraphs. Um, the story of the eBay haunted painting from the artist's perspective. One day in the 2000s, William Stoneham received a curious email asking if he knew the hands resist him. He hadn't heard that till in 25 years, but knew immediately what the email referred to. He replied yes, and soon as he heard the story of the eBay auction from the auction winner, Kim Smith, the owner of the Perception Gallery in the Grand Rapids, Michigan, Stoneham and Smith, who still owns the painting, has maintained a friendly conversation over the years. The story of the hunting painting auctions wove itself in the early social media world, and it's where and lived and grown for nearly 25 years. Stoneham has been interviewed many times by the broadcasters, print media, podcast interviewers, and many personal contacts. A few of the best are linked, which it's on Wikipedia. I can probably
Mhm.
try to find it a bit if I can. But da, 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 da. So they'll also point out the art critic who revealed it was the one who died after 1 year of coming in contact.
Oh,
Oh
Yeah,
did
shit.
what it was it was did they have nice things to say, or did they have not nice things to say?
they don't say anything about that.
Hmm.
And like
Interesting.
the only comments that he made on it is like mainly his like what the painting was about, and that there hasn't
Mhm.
like from the looks of it there's not really any like main information about like what exactly he said. They just pointed out like what it was about, like possibilities in that, and the urban legend just a
Mhm,
whole
mhm,
nother
mhm.
thing. And his most repeated response is where to begin. Well, I always had a connection to what Carl Jens called the collective unconscious. I think we all do. Artists, especially visual artists, are barometers for the current that run through this collection. Dreams are a common experience many people have with this. Anyway, my own experience is a sensitivity to a place, physical, geographical place. There are memories,
Mhm.
echoes of all lives within a place. Maybe it's called channeling. When I paint the hands were system in 1972, I used an old photo of myself at the age of 5 in Chicago apartment. The hands are the other lives, the glass door that is a thin veil between waking and dreaming. The girl doll's imaginative companion or guide through this realm. Both the owners of the gallery where the hands was displayed and Los Angeles Times, our
Mhm.
critic who revealed my show are dead within a year of the show. I'm sure it was a coincidence, but
Mhm.
some of what I paint resonate in other people opening the inner door. Or the basement. By the way, I still have no idea what happened to the character actor who brought the painting at the show. Editor note, it was John Merrily, who also died in 1984. Or how it ended up in an abandoned building, though I can speculate. Hey, big dog.
Interesting.
So, looking at this painting, right? You could sit there and
Mhm,
say it's a
mhm.
coincidence, but it costs like a couple of deaths. I wouldn't say it's a coincidence, but that's just me. I know you might have a question, Frog.
Oh, I was actually funny enough gonna ask the same question that Val asked when it's like, what is that thing holding? What is that?
That's a.
Is that like a can of silly string or is that a flashbang?
No, it looks like it's a bottle.
Maybe.
There's like some
It
people
does. It
speculating of that item getting like changed into a gun, but those are just speculations.
Damn. Yeah. Um, that was. I guess that
the way
was my
it's
main
being.
question.
Oh, sorry, sorry.
No, you're good.
No, just the way it's being crushed by her little doll hands. That's why it like makes me think it's like a can, like a soda can type of thing. Um,
She's
because if
just
it was
pissed
some
off
sort of
because. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say she's just pissed off because it's Starry and not Sprite.
paste,
Is it when it's sparkling water, not normal water?
low key, I love sparkling
I
water.
do too, dude. I'm actually like, damn.
It's
I drink
Give me
like
that.
liquid
Give me
death
that.
every single day, I think.
Oh, bubbly's got me in a chokehold. I
Bubbly's
keep
pretty
just
good.
getting cases of it
I,
and going
I
through it.
I literally have a bubbly right next to me while we've been doing this. I have the orange cream bubbly, but the blackberry pomegranate one is also really good.
Oh my god, I love the orange cream one. It's been sold out recently and it makes me
Oh my
so sad, so I've
god.
resorted to the grapefruit and the mango.
Those are good too, though.
They are.
Why would the doll have it? Well, I mean, the doll thought it was Sprite, but it ended up being Starry, and that's why the doll's pissed.
I mean, like the whole picture is kind of like odd. You can't really like sit there and say anything's
It is.
normal about this picture or painting.
It's
Sorry.
true.
Like imagine just walking someone home and you see this. This is a good way to turn the other direction.
Yeah, I mean, like if I saw the painting or if I saw that scene playing out with like a
If you
kid
see
and a
this
doll.
painting, if you've seen this painting,
Well, I mean, I guess either way, if I see the painting, I'm gonna be like, "That's fucking weird," but I'd probably keep walking. But if I saw that actual scene playing out, I'd probably turn the other way and leave.
Yeah, yeah, no, that regardless, like even if it's just like a seemingly normal child and a large doll, still, you know what,
I
nah,
mean,
I'm good, I get it. I don't want
mean,
to part of anything that's going on there.
I
No, thank
mean,
you. No, thank
back
you.
then during that year, like a lot of people like what's the term? Like the big like glass like dolls.
Oh, porcelain?
Porcelain, yeah, a lot of people love the
Yeah.
big old porcelain dolls, and they creep me out the most. Like if I see one, I get so tempted to kick it just to be safe.
Yeah.
I
Dude, I
did
feel
solve the
that.
painting. I will report back next stream, let you guys know if I died,
Thank you,
bruh.
brave
Or if
soldier.
you have to fight off the demons.
You just like cue the doom music.
Hmm.
You insult and you just fall over and just like die right then and there.
I do once we're finished presenting this, by the way, I do have an exercise I think would be really really funny to try, and I think
Hell
you'll
yeah.
like it. Yeah.
I mean, we're about like
Yeah.
done. I mean,
It's up to you.
Did you?
I don't want to like
Yeah,
no,
take
no,
anything
no.
away.
yeah.
It's very
Whenever you've gone through all your info,
yeah.
Nietzsche,
This was
please.
this
Yeah.
was most of my info, most of my
That
research.
one's really
But
interesting.
yeah.
Um,
I've been like
so
looking at this painting for like a while, so like I always been like, Like, I'd be honest, like, I have seen the painting before, or, like, the talk about it, like, based on, like, I do a lot of, like, horror research, and I have, like, come across this picture a couple of times, so I thought it'd be, like, interesting to talk about.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
dude. It was like super interesting. I just
It
realized the
is.
background was animated. Oh my god, there's like shooting stars and shit going on. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's oh my god. I was like switching back and forth between you and Nietzsche, so I didn't really
Mhm.
realize. And I was
No,
like,
it's
oh.
okay.
Um, so something I would like to try, in my opinion, right? And I could very,
Mhm,
very
mhm,
well be wrong, right? But
mhm.
in my opinion, I just can't get enough cryptids. I know this sounds like an ad placement, but it's not, I swear. But
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
if
Yeah,
Dr. Squatch or any other cryptid related products want to send me free stuff, or send all of us free stuff rather,
yeah,
more to
oh
say
yeah.
I mean, should we just
but
start posting our
uh
throne wings? I mean, it's like, it's,
Kitty, you're
um
not distracting. It's okay.
it's right there.
uh so essentially, I believe that there can always be more cryptids, and I believe that as the cryptid crew, it is not only our right, but also our obligation to
Uh-huh.
feed more cryptids into this world. So something I think would be
Okay.
really interesting is how about we create a cryptid legend right here on the spot?
Ooh.
One word
Okay,
improv.
okay.
One
All
word.
right, all
All
right.
right, we'll see how this goes. You want me to start, and we'll. How about it goes me, Vel, and Nietzsche. We'll just each say one word, and we'll create a cryptid story right here.
All right, shit, let's do it.
All right. So,
Wait, wait, wait,
uh,
wait, wait, wait.
yeah,
But
yeah,
before we start, why is Nietzsche crying?
yeah. Well, Nietzsche, are you? Nietzsche,
He
did the
was
painting find you?
I find.
I just noticed that. Nietzsche, what
No,
happened?
bro, I was pressing too many buttons.
Oh no! Oh no! Nietzsche's just spooked, bro. Like the cryptid tale we are about to say is probably the no I don't try to be I try to be as humble as I possibly can, but we are about to create the best cryptid in existence.
Someone scared the fucking guy, bro.
He said, "Yo, that's a sick idea. Thank you." All right, so I will go ahead and start and say uh once
There.
Twice.
a
Blue.
I'm sorry, I'm lost.
I think that's more than one word.
Hold on,
Okay,
are
okay.
we trying to finish
So
each other's sentences or
Yeah,
wait?
yeah,
we
yeah.
are
essentially-
building on each other's sentences.
Why don't we just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
why don't we just like like name a feature and then just have someone else like work on it?
Okay, well here, how about so we'll do we can do both. So like let's do so we had once there was a blue and then what was blue, Nietzsche?
How about course?
Horse?
Course. Okay, so a blue course, a
Course, I said
blue
horse.
course. Oh, blue horse.
No,
I thought you, I
horse,
thought you
horse.
meant I thought you meant like
Hey!
course. I was like, oh, that's a really interesting adjective to throw into the mix. Okay. Oh, okay, a blue horse
Mhm.
with
Course?
With a course, yes.
No, with course.
yeah, like rough almost like course.
Yeah.
Course.
Yeah. It's like something on it was rough.
What on it was rough, Nietzsche?
Paper.
Course. Uh
Paper.
detailing.
Several.
Cases.
Paces.
Cases.
Oh, cases.
Bro,
Oh,
am I not
oh,
close enough to the mic?
yeah, I didn't
No,
I
no,
didn't
no,
hear
you're
it.
good, you're
It's
good.
okay.
Yeah.
Like, tell me if
I
you
think it was
can't hear
I think it
me.
was my end, dude. My headset is like it's kind of dying, I'm gonna be honest. Like I need to get a new headset. Okay, so several cases uh involving
Sheep.
Um, big.
um okay. Uh wolves.
Sheep, big wolves. Covered.
In.
Hold on.
Covered in, yeah.
Hold on, give me 1 minute. I'm like writing all the things we have down real quick.
You're actually writing this.
Yeah, hold on. We have to know what our cryptid is. Hold on. Wait on.
Maybe we
Yeah.
do sentences instead of
Yeah,
words.
that's I was like, that's what I have so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
Big Wolf's End. I completely lost it at that point. Damn. All right, yeah. So anyway, that's our little half attempted cryptid. All right, so Blue Horse with a course paper detailing several cases of sheep, big wolves, and what did you say?
Covered
No,
in.
sheep, big wolves covered in.
Oh, cover. Okay, big
Yeah.
wolves covered in. Okay. Um. All right, so we'll switch to sentences. So I'll
Yeah.
finish this sentence. Uh.
Okay.
Okay, big wolves. Okay, detailing several cases of big sheep, big wolves, and
You can throw something in there. You can make it a more cohesive sentence. Go for it.
Covered in business suits.
These business suits are red and may or may not be cursed.
The horse can only be seen every third Thursday.
Nice. Okay. The the horse can only be seen every
Hold
third
on, I'm
Thursday.
sorry. Green villain, not correlation. One's writing Shakespeare, one's writing the next big thing for SoundCloud, and the last is eating glue. Bro,
All right.
Glue.
Uh, the curse involves flooding basements with hominy.
these
What do you got, Nietzsche?
basements may or may not be covered in mold.
The mold sparkles and shines, drawing in anyone who sees it.
This is actually a dope cryptid. Hold on. All right. If you touch the mold, you turn into a sheep wearing a business suit or a big wolf.
If you
No, DBC, this
turn,
is fire.
if you, if you turn to a sheep, you can never do business again despite having the suit.
Oh no.
Eventually the glue start boiling. Bruh. Let me cook.
Okay. Brain, hang on, rebooting.
I completely forgot there was a blue horse. Hold up. I like how the blue
Yeah,
horse has
the
nothing
blue
to do so
the blue
far.
horse that you can only see every third Thursday.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, that's the okay. Gotcha. I'm
Yeah.
on it. Yeah.
And it appears in basements
Yeah.
with the hominy and the mold that sparkles and shines.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
We're
we
cooking.
got this.
Yeah, we're cooking.
Are we cooking or are we like burning the flat?
No, I think we're about to pop off, dude. This is about to be a cryptid all over the place. Like people are gonna start
It
reporting it everywhere.
it is. Because it's been reported in locations all over the northern hemisphere.
Ooh. Okay. Uh Specifically, it likes to frequent basements that may eventually turn into a spirit Halloween.
The basement that our spirit hall wing is smaller than it seems.
Um once all the walls are covered in the shiny mold, any who inhabit the room vanish.
Oh, leaving behind nothing but fidget toys.
These fidget toys may
No,
or may
I'm
not.
taking a drink.
These frog got some legs, injuries, and remain this pumpkin guy. These fidget toys gives you an urge to rap battle alcohol.
Against? What? Oh yeah.
Spat my energy drink everywhere with that frog. It's all over my monitor.
Oh no!
Bell's done.
This is a very intricate cryptid.
I love that as a deer.
Oh my gosh.
Rap battle gets him just struggling against it.
Sightings of this date back to the 16th century.
Oh shit! Contrary to popular, wait, is it my turn or is it Nietzsche's?
It's
I think it
you.
might be
It's
Nietzsche's.
you.
It's your turn. No,
Okay, it's my turn. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, damn! I just completely lost. Oh yeah. Contrary to popular beliefs, fidget toys existed in this century, albeit in archaic form.
This archaic form is in the form of trial by combat.
I love it. It's like the fidget toys were simply trial by combat.
It's only ever been third party accounts because anyone who's actually witnessed it has never been found.
And this creature was named. We have to come up with a name now. We all have to do this.
Fuck. All right. I'm so bad at naming things.
I got that. I get
I'm gonna
that
say
part.
I'm gonna say my first word I'll contribute is periwinkle.
Periwinkle Jefferson, the third.
What
Not
say
the
you
first,
though?
but the third.
Okay, Periwinkle Jefferson the third
Highlight the third.
of Boggerton.
Nice. Okay, hold on. Periwinkle
Yeah.
Jefferson the third of Boggerton. That's horrifying, dude. What a terrifying cryptid.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to encounter it. Be careful. Be careful on the third Thursday of every month.
That is our cryptid that we have now manifested into the world.
This thing's gonna act like the next boogeyman.
You don't want to run into this thing.
Squire.
So I think the moral of the story is that if you go to a spirit Halloween and you see an employees only door, heed that with caution, for you may end up encountering Periwinkle Jefferson III of Boggerton, but only on the third Thursday of the month.
Yes. And like check the walls too. Are they shiny? Do they have a little hint of sparkle? If so, be extra careful.
If you see
Yes.
mold, just turn the other way. It's not even worth it.
I mean, like that's just good life lesson in general. Avoid mold.
Proceed with caution.
Oh yeah, I'm proud of the cryptid we came up with. We did good.
I agree. Well, I think Periwinkle Jefferson the third of Boggerton Esquire is under my bed. Take your meds, Phil.
Just a pat on the shoulder. You know, maybe you need to get back on your meds.
We need to definitely homebrew some more cryptids pretty soon.
Oh, absolutely.
I agree.
All right, well, I'll make sure to archive this and so it doesn't get lost. We will never forget about Periwinkle Jefferson III of Boggerton, Esquire.
You see a horse that looks a little too blue, and you have to contemplate whether or not you're crazy or that's actually they go when they're
If you see a blue horse, like that's probably a problem. But also, Malik, how you say there's like 90 different topics converge. I mean, that's also because like all three of us have very different vibes. Like like that's just the nature of it, because like, you know, obviously these two are like the absolute best, but we're all very different, you know. So trying to like improv something on the fly, you're gonna get a convergence of all three of us.
Listen,
It started off a bit messy, but I think we found our footing.
it's like
I
it's
think
like
so.
getting a book, right? Give someone the
Exactly.
beginning, give someone the middle, give someone the end. It can go romantic to horror to comedies for some reason. It won't make complete sense, but it's funny, and that's what matters.
I think that's called a vibe check, Ace.
Hit them with a nice.
I was a little
blue cap.
confused because I was like, wait, hold on, is it the? Because like we kept kind of changing where the cryptid was coming from. Because we're like, it's a blue horse, but he contains a piece of paper that depicts the event that happens. But then the event actually happens, and it's these business suit wearing sheep who wear red business suits with big wolves who also wear business suits. But if they flood a basement with mold and hominy, and the mold and hominy sparkles, and if you touch it, you turn into one of them and can no longer conduct business.
Despite wearing a suit. Despite wearing a suit.
Welcome, Max.
You don't know what you're doing at this time.
We got a little lost, but in the end, it all
Is it
all
really
came
lost
together.
though? I think we found our way.
We did.
I'm very proud. This is one of those drawings that I'm going to have to hang up on the fridge, except it's not a drawing, so I'm just gonna have to hang up like a chat
I'm
log
gonna
or
hang
something.
out like hang up the drawing, point at it, it's like, hey, look, it's right there.
I would definitely advise for the sleep med route, green villains.
Yeah, I would agree, Duke. Don't unless you're microdosing meth through the legal forms of I think it's Adderall that's meth.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of that right now because all it reminds me of is that raccoon that has recently been caught.
The raccoon.
So I don't know where this traffic stop happened at, just to do a whole side tangent. But a cop pulled over this woman, and he looks inside the car, and the raccoon was like doing meth. And the dude's like, "Man, we have we had cocaine bear, and now we have meth raccoon." And
Raccoon.
he pulled out the thing, and it's like, "Is this raccoon actually doing meth?" Which the raccoon was actually doing meth for.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, like, it sounds like a hilarious situation, but also part of me is so angry and sad for that raccoon because, like, don't give animals drugs.
I mean,
No.
so even though
No.
it's bad, like if we want to take a step back, cocaine bear. That thing
That's
became
also bad.
cocaine. No, cocaine bear became the apex predator. Became the very top food chain for 24 hours, and then it just never got back up after that 24 hours.
Well, yeah,
And
because like
yes, it's
they can't
bad.
handle that.
Of course they can't, but like the mere like power boost that it gives an animal, it cannot like be ignored. Like drugs to animals, drugs
No.
to anyone is bad. Don't do drugs. Like we seen what happens. It's not good.
It's not. And like while it's like a funny it's a funny haha story, it's definitely no,
Like
don't do that.
for like the cocaine bear, like that whole incident was basically an accident for anyone who doesn't know the story. Someone was basically planning on selling it and they accidentally dropped it
Mhm.
in the woods. A bear found it and they took like I don't even think it was 2 pounds. I think it was like way more than that. They took a
Oh, it'd have to
bunch.
be.
It took a bunch and it just 1v1 and took out like anything that got in its way. Like it's like a
Well, yeah.
Ginsu Ganyu from like Japanese mythology. The only way
Hmm.
out is waiting it out. You can't fight that. That thing was like stronger than a polar bear. Like it wasn't even funny. Like no one wanted to mess with that.
That's horrifying.
Definitely not. Yeah, I think it was like several kilos, which like kilograms are a little bit heavier than pounds. So, and
It,
it doesn't take a lot of, from my understanding, I will preface this, I have never done coke, but from my understanding, you don't need a lot of it for it to affect you. So like
I
it only did
took
3 to 4 grams. Holy shit.
I watch a lot of true crime cases, and a lot of people
Hmm.
usually go crazy over like maybe like 5 grams or four. Like
Hmm.
God forbid if it was like an actual pound that anyone took. Like I think that would just, bro, that's that's it would make anyone a different person. But like many kilograms of coke for a bear, like bro, there's a reason why that thing was considered a flat out apex predator for 24 hours. And I have to
Well,
keep
yeah,
specifying the 24 hours because that's how long the rampage took.
yeah, and then it crashed. I mean, it probably was just like um not doing like the full amount, but I think it's probable that that would be like the amount that was dropped, but it didn't get into all of it, like it didn't consume all of it. It just took like enough to then suddenly get hit with it and then go on, a super powered run through,
Yeah.
the world.
I
It
was
was
commenting
a
on the fact it's like Goblin said 1.2 grams of coke is considered legal. I know that they meant lethal, but I was like, hold up.
bruh.
It's fine as long as you have that specific amount.
Yeah. Just don't. Just it is always advised to not partake in harmful substances, and if you're going to do so responsibly.
We like to have fun on this podcast, but you know what's
So
not fun
hold
is
on.
is doing illegal narcotics. We don't condone illegal narcotics here on
I was
Cryptid Crew.
wrong. It was 34 kilograms, which is 75 pounds. That's how much the bear took.
Holy crap.
That was
Well,
75 pounds of coke that the bear took, to be exact.
all
Oh,
right.
And
oh
that
my
thing
god.
was just on a rampage. And then it died after the 24 hours. But like, bro,
No.
75 pounds? That's not a small amount.
God damn.
Why it takes
All
so
right.
I mean,
okay, I want you to take a step back and think of the animal point of view. It's like a duck, right? If you toss some random thing towards a duck that looks edible, they're going to take that. Now, the bear saw someone drop a bunch of stuff to the ground. They don't know what it
mhm,
is, but it looked edible, so they took all of it. Why? Because, it needs food, which was a coincidence that this 34 kilograms was coke. The bear took all of that.
Vel's a duck, right? I'll
yeah,
go ahead and
yeah.
let Vel
No,
answer that. Yeah.
I do love ducks though. Ducks are adorable.
ducks walk up
And just
to
because I
Hell yeah.
me.
can't handle alcohol doesn't mean I don't enjoy it. I just enjoy it mostly responsibly.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's okay. Like, be responsible with the stuff you do. Don't sit there and test human limits and say, I'm that guy. Like, This is probably another side tangent. I'd be watching this guy talk
Quack,
about
quack.
like horror movies, and I always see people in the comic
Mhm, mhm.
section saying, "I'm that guy. I won't die that way," and it's like 90% of people would die that way, but like we don't want to point that fact. So don't be
Yeah.
that person that be like, I got that dog in me. Don't be
Exactly.
like that.
And to caveat, when I say mostly responsibly, it's just that sometimes I go over my limit, but I do it from the safety of either my own home or around people I trust, and I never drive. Because like I won't even drive if I have one drink like 3 hours ago. Like nope, nope. It needs to be like a solid 8 hours since.
It reminds me of that game called Intoxicated Drivers on Flat Out Steam, and people say this is the adult Mario Kart.
No.
Fun fact: frog poison is a result of bugs in their diet. Take
Yeah.
said bug out of their diet,
Oh.
no longer produce it. Said, "Oh yeah, that's true. The environment usually affects." When
Yeah.
when the
Like
fuck did Cryptid Talk become a PSA,
We
bro?
got on Cocaine Bear, man. I don't know.
we like to talk about all sorts of things around here. We get very distracted on this podcast. This little podcast stream thing. This comfy chair, dude. Do you think this red chair reclines, or do you think I'd break it if I tried to lean too far back?
Nah, I think you'd be okay, Frog.
That'd be so awesome if there was an animation of breaking this thing.
Imagine you just like go a little back and you just break the table on accident.
Goblin, thank you for specifying how that is your uncle.
Do you eat
What
bugs that
what do you
make you poisonous? Frog, do you eat bugs?
So I don't know why, but that reminds me of that. Have you ever heard that song that's like this dude on YouTube? I want to say his name is Jesse. Yeah, it's Jesse Wells. He wrote this song about liking bugs, and he's just like, I like grasshoppers because frogs eat them. I like bees 'cause flowers need them. I like spiders. I like slugs. I like caterpillars. I like bugs. That's like all I know of it. But yeah,
Some
yeah,
of those things mentioned are definitely not bugs, but
yeah,
good vibes.
yeah. They're definitely not all of them are bugs, but
You'd be
I
surprised
like
people
his
would believe him.
yeah, I like his whole vibe. It's like a lot of like folk environment stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that's my jam.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's like that Love Wind Frog song you sent, and it's like the best thing ever.
Dude, the Loveland Frog song is awesome. It sounds like Iggy Pop trying to like stumble his way through talking about a cryptid.
Yeah, that was pretty fire.
I feel like he made the song while drunk, but I'm not 100% sure.
My favorite part of that song is he's like, it's not a normal frog, it is a big old frog. There's more than one of them.
Which is
Bro,
still just so funny with their
Yeah.
little sparklers.
with them little sparkles.
Yeah.
I still feel like it's dynamite, but I'm not 100% sure.
No, it's a sparkler. Otherwise, they would have exploded. It was lit.
It jumped in the water, though.
I am to answer your question, Avril. Wait, Avrilsham? Is that how you pronounce your name? I'm gonna say Avrilsham. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sort of like a rejected like Jim Henson's like child, where like he saw me and didn't really appreciate how I turned out and said, "Hey, you don't get to be on the Muppets," and then I got like slam dunked into like a dumpster behind Schlotsky's. That's kind of my origin story. I don't know. I just made that up. I don't actually have an origin story.
Or,
Don't quote me on
or my case, a certain witch
that.
got bored and they did a silly little accident, and I came to existence because of it. So that's
Oh,
where I came from.
The
Which,
moon
Cthulhu
saw a
cheat.
worn out rabbit plush on a mall bench between a GameStop and a Hot Topic and was like, you know what I should do? I should give that life. And it did, and it got very confused and created me.
I like how you said Hot Topic and flat out GameStop.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm sorry, have you seen me?
I have.
Have my wardrobes from Hot Topic.
Hell yeah. Also, on the topic, by the way, I was saying like
Uh-huh.
Schlotsky's, like the sandwich place. I am not a fan of that, dude. I don't know if like any of you are, but dude, I will be Schlotsky's #1 hater till I perish. Like, I swear.
Frog, I'd never heard that name until you said it.
Honestly,
Dude,
I'm a professional #1 Jellymon hater, if you ask me.
true.
No, I was gonna say I don't think I hate anything, but no, I do. I hate green peppers and ketchup.
Ketchup is good, though.
That's fair.
No, fuck both those things. Keep them the fuck away from me.
Someone apparently have a deep hatred for Subway, which it's strange that I meet so many people who hate Subway.
Subway's just like super fucking mid.
Yeah, dude. So I used to work at Jimmy John's, and
Okay.
like that made me have such a bias against like Subway and Schlotsky's, but Schlotsky's more so. I love, dude. Like, so Quiznos is probably my most favorite. I absolutely love
Those are so
Quiznos.
good.
It's
I
so
haven't had
underrated.
it.
Everyone shits
I
on
haven't had
Quiznos. I'm
it.
like, it's so good. Oh my god,
They
I
don't
Niche,
really exist anymore.
it's so good.
the only
Yeah, you
one
don't.
like the only food I had was maybe the what's that like sub place, the one made by the monkey.
What?
You know
I want to
that
go to that
monkey
one.
like sub place? I keep forgetting what it's called. It's like the
It's like in
big
monkey
like ape.
subs.
Now, I'm trying to remember its name. Like the mascot is
Huh.
like an ape or like a monkey.
I have no idea. But DBZ from the way Frog tells it, nah. Subway's not that bad. Like, I don't know, Subway's not like offensive. It's not great. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't want to pay for Subway, but I'm not like offended if someone's like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna go to Subway. You want something?" I'll be like, "If I'm hungry, sure, fuck it, why not?" You know, it's at least like okay.
I'm trying to remember what
Dude,
it's called because I know my buddy works there and he said he hates the place to death.
Yeah, Nietzsche, that might be a regional thing because again, I got no fucking clue.
Maybe if I
oh,
write
dude,
one.
Firehouse subs does slap
Oh
DBZ. I'll be
yeah,
honest.
I
I do
feel
like
like
Firehouse.
I
Firehouse
feel
is
like
good.
I feel like that one's pretty good.
Yeah, Firehouse is enjoyable. I used to work next to a Subway, so like I would eat a lot of it because it was my options were either Subway or the smoothie place I worked at. So I had a lot of Subway, and like it's not that bad.
I mean, when you're hungry, I don't think a lot of things are really bad, to be honest. I mean, my favorite place is literally Taco Bell. I mean, that speaks volume of how low my expectations are.
Taco Bell is so good though.
Taco
It
Bell is
is.
awesome, dude. Like, out of like a lot of like the fast food places, Taco Bell's got to be like one of the top.
Fucking love Taco Bell.
I always mess with
Way too
like one
much.
of my buddies. I said this
Same.
is the best like Mexican fast food, and they always give me the side eye.
Dude, it's so good. Even if it is Tex-Mex, it is so good.
Taco Bell was actually started in Bell Gardens, California, by a white guy.
Yeah, no,
Hell yeah.
that's why I joke around about it like every single time. It's just funny.
No, you know what? What's the best part about Taco Bell? The fucking their fucking meat slop. Like when you get the chalupa, don't get the steak, don't get the chicken. No. Get the meat slop one.
I like both of them. Like the
That's
chicken and meat are
that's
like
the
probably the best ones.
nah get and the Doritos Locos Taco. Get the meat slop with some Doritos. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I usually get the cravings box because the whole cravings box
Mhm.
is enough for me, and they usually have like the best
Oh
items
yeah.
in it. Like I don't think I have
Dude,
ever gotten cravings box and been disappointed from it.
same. And
No.
dude, oh wait, sorry, what's up?
Oh no. I was just gonna say that one time I did, and it's because the only cravings box they had was like through the decades, and I had to pick like a random decade for a cravings box. And I was like, what
What?
the fuck is this shit? I don't want it. Give me the regular things. I like the Taco Bell of the now.
It's like what? What? Dude, I honestly one of the best things on their menu that they ever had, and I'm so sad they got rid of, is I absolutely love. There's two things: the loaded chicken chipotle loaded grillers. Those things were so fucking good. But the other
Those are
thing
good.
is, I don't know if you guys remember this. It was called the grilled stuffed nacho, and it was like It was like
No.
shaped like a giant nacho, but it was like a tortilla, and they would grill it, but they would load it full of like nacho cheese and like chipotle and like sour cream and like a bunch of like the meat and stuff. Like I'd get grilled chicken in there.
Damn.
Dude, oh my god, it was so fucking good. But then they're like, this is too powerful, and they proceeded to like just like hit the fucking
Mm.
lockdown button on that shit.
Some places always like I had an incident where I lived in the South because I lived in Florida. Um,
Uh-huh.
they said I think it was I don't think it was Popeyes. I'm not sure. It was like one place. They brought back the chicken sandwich or whatever, and people were literally like hand to hand combat each other for this chicken sandwich. And I sat there, I was like, homie, are you actually killing someone over a chicken sandwich? And I was talking to my dad about it, and my dad's like, all you have to
Uh-huh.
do to make business is slap limited time on a random item, and people are going to like full lengths just for it. Like it's
Yeah, it's so
insane.
true.
It's insane how
Good
far
night,
someone would go.
Fang.
Sleep well,
Have good noodle
noodle.
snoozles.
Don't get attacked by the raccoons.
It's been at least 5 years since I've had Long John Silver's, and like I don't care. It's pretty meh. If I
Yeah.
want if I want like fish, if I want like fish and chips, man, I'm gonna find a British themed pub that will do it proper, because like that's the only way to do it.
Oh
So
yes,
absolutely, like
like
I do think that like British and Irish pubs are like really good for fish and chips. But dude, I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of liked Long John Silver's. Weirdly enough, though, it wasn't their fish I really went for. A lot of it was
Hush
actually
puppies.
their hush puppies, the clam strips, and then the chicken fillets that they had.
man, I haven't had hush puppies in a long time, actually. I think the
I'm a big
last
hush
time I
puppy
had
enjoyer.
them is when I went to. Why can't I think of any fast food place right now? God, it was like some place that had like the. What what is it? Hold on, give me a second. It had like the
Also,
picture
that
of a
place sounds
rooster
really bad. A rooster?
or like some type of chicken on it.
Wait, it had. Wait, say that again.
It has like a chicken or a rooster flat out. Like,
On like the icon.
yeah.
I want to say Zaxby's. Doesn't
Yeah,
Zaxby's have a chicken?
Saxby's. Yeah,
Okay,
Saxby's.
yeah.
Yeah, it was Saxby's. Yeah, I couldn't think of the name, but they had hush puppies, and I liked it. Like they made to me, they made like the best mac and cheese. Uh, uh I mean to me because I ate almost every single mac and cheese from every single place, and
Hmm.
I do say other than like the big fancy restaurants out of like fast food, like Saxby's had like the best mac and cheese. The Hush Puppies was pretty good, but the ones my mom made was just better.
Hell yeah. Yeah, dude. So back whenever I was in culinary, I remember that making hush puppies was kind of like a labor of love because they require onions. But if you ever eat a hush puppy, you don't really get strings of onions in hush puppies, at least if they're done right. You know, like the
Hmm.
onions are usually so fine you don't even like detect them really whenever you're eating it. So it's like you had to mince so many onions, and we had to make that shit in like bulk because like we were typically doing like catering or like some big event, and I would
Hmm.
have to mince these onions, dude. And I'm just like trying my best not to like just like be blinded while I'm doing this, like having to cut onions for like hours and hours and hours. Um, but dude, it was like those were like the best hush puppies ever though. Like we would mince that stuff so fine, and like we'd make like the cornmeal, uh, you know, like the cornmeal mix, dude, and it was those are like probably the best hush puppies I've ever had. And we put like we actually had like variants that actually had like meat in them, so like we'd actually get like
Oh.
lump crab meat and like actually put
Hmm.
that in it and then deep fry it, and that was like the best.
That's awesome. And I mean, I think Hex proves the point of hush puppies have onions.
You'd be
Yeah.
surprised.
Apparently,
Like
yeah.
I had like bad Hush Puppies before, and where it just chomp on the onion, and which was the worst one. But
Oh
like
no.
yeah, like
Yeah.
you'd be surprised with like how some foods are made.
Oh yeah.
Like an onion ring is literally just a ring of onion that's like deep fried.
Yeah. Dude,
So
I do
Five
like
Guys
Five
is
Guys.
good.
Oh
Five
yeah.
Guys is my
Yeah.
favorite burger place. Like honestly,
I
Their
I
burgers are really good. I don't understand how people say that they aren't. Like I don't get it.
We call those
I think that
delusional
Five
people.
Guys can be a bit pricey, but I think it's worth it. You know what I mean? Like
It
the food is good, and I love that they just fuck you up with like a bunch of. Sorry, just kind of drop that. I mean, I know that we don't really mind cussing, but damn, I just fucking. Anyway, I'm gonna keep saying it. Dude, I just like they. I like how they just like fuck you up and just like drop like a bunch of like fries in the bag, and it's just like overflowing and greasy. I'm like, yes, give me the garbage.
You can order the small fries and still get a lot of fries in your thing.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
still way too many fries. The last time I went to Five Guys and I got a small fries and a burger and I was just like, I can't eat all of these. This is too many. This is too many fries.
And they hit you with the it's a me
Actually, I want to
problem.
see if the Five Guys near me is open late because I'm so hungry and Five Guys sounds so amazing.
Dude, doesn't it? Honestly, like I kind of want to run to like
Does.
this like convenience store near my place and just like get something off the hot rollers or something. Or I don't know, maybe take like one of those like little. I really like those sausage rolls that you can get at like certain convenience stores and everything, where they're like literally just like. I mean, I don't really know how to describe it. They're sausage rolls, but they're amazing.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Wait,
Yeah,
like what type of like is like what type of sausage roll? Is it like the British type of sausage roll? Because yeah, those are so good.
yeah, yeah, dude. Those are
Yes,
awesome. I love those
yes.
so much. Oh my god, I
I
absolutely love
mean,
those.
what's that place? Publix, like the chicken that they be having,
Mhm.
like the small like
Mhm.
chicken wings that they be having. That's a little spicy. Get those with Hawaiian bread, and that's the best thing you have ever eaten. I love those to death.
Interesting. Hi, Julio Dragon.
Frog and a chicken jockey. I'm a chicken jockey now. Huh? That's
I mean, you
interesting.
are
Chicken
kind of floating
jockey.
there. I understand it's a Minecraft reference, but like also, huh?
I'm a magical
They're open
pumpkin.
till
I'm
10.
not
I got
just
time. I got
any
lots of
pumpkin.
time. I might even borrow my friend's car and drive there instead of walking the like 15 minutes because I killed my legs with squats again today.
Hell yeah. They're goaded.
Fresh
Hot take.
sausage rolls. Oh, that would be amazing because Malik is in England.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, my grandma would always make sausage rolls whenever I go over there, and my grandma is great. So it's like sausage rolls are like one of the few foods that's like actually nostalgic with like good memories for me. So
Hell
when I
yeah.
was in Colorado, actually, I was visiting Denver, and there so many things close early. It's weird. And like obviously I'm a very nocturnal person, right? Like I don't want to eat dinner at 5 p.m. because I probably ate lunch not that long ago. I need to eat at like I don't know, like 8, 9, fuck 10 o'clock even. Um so a lot of places in Denver close at like 7. So that didn't really jive for me. Except this one like random British themed pub that had like authentic fish and chips and sausage rolls, and they had a few other things I can't really remember because it's been several years now. But it was so fucking good, and that's like this is the first time I'd had sausage rolls since I left Canada, which had been at that point like 6-ish years. So it was
Yeah.
it was really great, and it was so good.
Oh my god, that sounds so good.
It was really
It's gonna
good.
burst at 2 p.m.
Sounds
5 p.m. Oh my
amazing.
god. Magical pumpkin cat.
He is the most magical pumpkin.
Dude, I remember so like where I went to school, right?
Mhm.
Um to to say that there's not like a whole lot of like culture here is kind of an understatement. And so coming from like a Japanese household, dude, it's like I remember bringing like my mom had made like onigiri, like rice balls,
Yeah.
and I remember bringing that to school. And like, dude, like some of my friends were like, "Oh, that's awesome," but like some of the other people I went to school were just like, "Hey, what the fuck that?" Like they were just like really, really
Yeah.
confused and almost like kind of judging the fact I was eating that. I was like, I mean, there's other cultures you can embrace. Like there's other types of food you can eat. It's like my entire life I've really, really liked exploring food, and that's kind of what had me pursue culinary in general, dude. Like I love learning about different recipes all over the world, and I'm constantly like practicing new stuff.
That kind of gives me
You
the
know?
feeling of like when I was in Florida when I took school. when I started my first photography class. From what my teacher was saying, my teacher, to start with him, he was a street photographer, so he always goes to like Asian countries and take pictures down there. And he
Mhm.
said I have a really big talent for taking picture of like cloud pictures. I remind him of Alfred Stingledge, if I'm pronouncing his name
Okay.
right.
Sure.
He done a whole series of pictures called the equivalents, which are mostly black and white cloud pictures, and the only reason why they're black and white was because his wife died and the color kind of faded.
Aw.
But he said my
Uh,
pictures kind of like that, but like colorful. I done one picture, one of my favorite pictures, which was literally a cloud shaped as an angel, and I called it like the beloved sky or something like that. And it ended up in like a photography contest. Like a lot of people were like pointing it out. I didn't win,
oh
of
yeah.
course. I didn't win, of course, because apparently the judge had favoritism towards like one person that won almost
Aw.
every single prize.
That
But
sucks, dude.
no. I was happy that my pictures, two of my pictures got in because for like contests like that, it's borderline impossible to get your pictures in, let alone two in. So like I was
Yeah.
happy that it got in. So like cloud pictures are just my best pictures. I have like 90% of my like pictures folder is like clouds.
You take amazing pictures of clouds.
Oh
I need to
yeah.
mess with my like camera again eventually, but like yeah.
Favorite donut type is either just like all the chocolate, like a chocolate donut with chocolate frosting, or a Boston cream.
Ooh, Boston
I
cream's
enjoy a
really,
good
really
cream.
good.
hmm
I I'm a fan of, as weird as it sounds.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Okay, one of the best donuts I ever had, I guess I will say first, was this donut that was like it was called like a chocolate chip cookie dough donut, and I was like, this is
Oh my
definitely gonna be too
god.
sweet, you know? But
hmm
dude, it was like the fluffiest, like pillowiest, like glazed donut, but then they had like actual drizzles of like chocolate syrup on it, but then a bunch of cookie dough was like inside of the donut. So as you're biting into it, you're just getting like mouthfuls of cookie dough
Oh
and
my
donut.
god.
That was
Yes.
probably the best donut I ever had. But in a general sense, I actually am a huge fan of like cake donuts, like specifically blueberry cake donuts. I will like
Oh
fuck those
yeah.
up.
I think the only
You
donut that
know,
I don't like is like the
mhm.
filling donuts. I hate those the
It's
most.
like a Boston cream.
I love Boston cream. I used to not, was the funny thing, but I actually love them now.
They're
I don't know
so
what
good.
happened.
Just fill my mouth with cream. I mean, what?
The cream
Some of us
pie
here
will
like
go
to
crazy here.
eat cream filled things, you know.
I definitely do. But no, it's hard to find like a bad donut, you know?
Oh
Like a
yeah.
bad donut is just a bad made donut is really what it is.
Or a burnt one.
Yeah, but again, it goes in like the bad made.
That goes to like the subway area where you tell someone to put it back in the flat out stove like 20 times in a row. Say it's not cooked enough.
hmm Yeah. Yeah, at that point, what are you doing? I mean, obviously, anything that's like strawberry or has like strawberry frosting, I cannot partake with strawberry jam. But I like the filling. I like the filling things.
Yeah.
I like how
Again,
you're
there's just
trying to like
all
word
donuts
it.
are good.
I like how you like hit a
Oh,
low tone every time you mentioned it.
okay. So I was, um, funny enough, right? I was actually, I had this donut a while back that was actually a peanut butter and jelly donut, and that donut was like it had like this peanut butter whip on top, and like it had like a peanut butter glaze to go with it, but then inside was like the strawberry jam, which is funny because I know we just got done talking about how we're not like a huge fan of like the strawberry jelly, but it was like an actual jam that they
Well, I'm
made, and
allergic. I'm allergic to strawberry, so I can't eat
oh,
it.
oh, never mind
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. Yeah. I know
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
delicious. I
that
just
definitely
can't eat
changes
it.
things. Aw,
They've been nerfed. There's a difference.
hmm
it was so
hmm
good though. Damn, I kind of forgot about that. I'm not gonna lie. No.
Okay.
Dude, lemon cream is another really good one.
Yes. I feel like lemon sometimes gets slept on, and like
Yeah.
it's so good in desserts.
It
Mhm.
tastes. I feel like there's like only one I liked, which was involving a cake. But other than that, I don't like really like lemon like that. Like
That's
just
fair.
normally, I don't like
Yeah.
lemon. Period.
Yeah. Understandable, honestly. I think like my favorite kind of sweets in a general sense is actually like fruits. So like sweet
Yeah.
fruity things are like probably like my favorite things. Like I like a nice tart or like mango lassi. If you ever had that, I love mango lassi.
I haven't, but like anything mango is delicious. I'm such a slut
Yeah.
for chocolate. Like anything, especially dark chocolate. Like yes, yes, please give me that. I want all of that in my mouth. It is delicious. But like fruits also like a solid choice. Like it would go like chocolate, especially dark chocolate, and then like fruit, and then maybe like vanilla and other like sweet flavors after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for chocolate cake, to be honest. So I get it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Oh
Malik,
man.
that is why I still consume like cheese and dairy products. I just at least I can take a lactate for that.
Cheese is amazing, though. Just eating cheese straight without
Ah, I love
anything,
cheese.
like, bro. Sometimes, like, I get one of those like cheese wheels and just start like chomping on them, and next thing you know it, on my seventh serving,
hmm
they said
Also, Goblin,
recommended.
that is true too.
Just recommend to eat it once a day, and I'm just eating all of it in one day.
Goblin says, "I'm a slut for chocolate, except remove for chocolate."
Both
Hell
are
yeah.
true. Both can be true. And in my case, they are.
Goblin slutty chocolate corn.
I'm allergic to blank. There's a pill for that. Exactly. Well, like lactose, it's not. It's just my body doesn't know what to do with it. It's not an allergy.
Getting nerfed pretty hard, one may say.
Favorite cheese. I'm a huge fan
Oh
of
shit.
Munster, Havarti, and Gorgonzola. Those are probably my top three.
I Cabinzola over Gorgonzola,
Ooh,
but
Capital's good too.
it's mostly just it's a little bit creamier, and then probably just like a really good sharp cheddar
Pepper
is
jack
good.
cheese. Pepper jack cheese, my
Pepper jack
favorite.
cheese good.
Ooh,
Honestly,
pepper
honestly,
jack's good.
all
On a sandwich, it's even better.
Malik, this is fair. That's fair.
Swiss cheese.
Swiss cheese does have holes, and is very tasty.
Mhm.
I don't know. Like, I haven't really found a cheese that I dislike. And now I will caveat this because it always fucking comes up. I will not eat the maggot cheese. I will never do that.
Oh,
I
Pazu Marzu.
Yeah, no, will never happen. You know how I feel about bugs. So like when I say I have not found a cheese that I dislike and I don't know if there is one, I am not including that. That is horrific and does not fall under the usual cheese consideration.
I mean,
Because all cheese is delicious cheese. Caveat, asterisk, except that one.
What's y'all's top three favorite anime? That's hard because I've seen so
Oh,
many that I know that if I like, I
can't
can tell you
top
what some of my
three.
newest ones are. Some of my newest ones, I'm a huge fan of Chainsaw
Stop
Man,
it.
Don, and those are definitely my top two. I'd probably have to
No.
think about my third one before I lock it in, but definitely Chainsaw Man and Don make it into my new top three.
Bad Goblin.
Wait,
hold
what
on,
Goblin
give me
say?
a second. You said top
Oh, okay,
five.
never mind. Deleted by moderator. We're good. We're good.
Deleted! That does not count! That does not count! You know it!
Goblin goes. "Hmm."
Bro.
I can only imagine.
We don't know what they said, but it could be any.
Cheese and onion pastries are so good. Oh my god.
So to start with, like my flat out top five anime, starting with number five, it would be Is It Wrong to Pick Up a Girl in the Dungeon? Four,
Mhm,
Dark
mhm,
Gathering. Three, ReZero.
mhm.
Four, Berserk. Five, number one, Fate series. I absolutely love the Fate series, like hands down, one of my favorites of all time. Now, before you
Yeah,
sit there
I
and
can't.
tell me which one, Fate Zero, Unlimited Blade Works, and Grand Order.
No.
Not the Magical Girl one. That one sucks. It's weird.
Oh, Tsukihime. I remember one of my buddies showed me that, and I was not a fan of that. I tried, man. I tried. It just wasn't.
Gurren
Brother Man
Lagann, yes,
wasn't my
Gurren
thing.
Lagann. Gurren Lagann's like number 6 for me.
That's a really good one too.
I
I've
remember.
legit seen so much anime that like I can't. It's also like what genre? What are you
Right.
in the mood for? I've seen like slice of life, I've seen romantic, I've seen dark and fucked up. I've probably seen the most like dark and fucked up, but then I've also
Oh
seen
yeah.
I mean,
shonen, lots of shonen anime, and like
Right.
that's got its own vibe, and it's just like I can't. Don't make me pick. I cannot.
for
Dude,
like the
that's
darkest.
why I was kind of just reading newer anime because it's like
Hmm.
I've seen so many that it's hard for me to define like all the ones, you know.
Because
But
like I
sorry, Nietzsche, what
name
were you saying?
like I was going to say I name the ones I name based on like how often
Hmm.
I go back to them. Like Berserk, I already read that
No, it's
like
fair.
4 times. One of the times I read it, I finished it in like one day. Keep in mind this has like 300 and something chapters. Fate series is just generally my favorite. I always play the gotcha game. The story is actually pretty good. Is it wrong to pick up Dungeon? I love the main character. Dark Gathering, which is a newer one. I genuinely love the story. I highly genuinely recommend. ReZero is actually very like it's one of my favorite izakais of like all time. I know some people would argue reincarnated as a slime or even Overlord, but I feel like ReZero kind of does it better. It's not like a power fantasy or anything like that. Konosuba,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
It would for me it would rival Konosuba, but then again, Konosuba is kind of better. So
Hmm. All of those are good picks too. Holy Dragon, Sword Art Online, Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic, and Solo Leveling.
hold
Solo
on.
Leveling was pretty
To go
fucking
on
great.
that to lock into that SAO, which season are we talking about? Which season SAO are we talking about? Like if you say anything after season 1, I'm shaking my head. Comedy, Comey, Slice of Life. I'm trying to remember what that anime was. The OHC. Hold on, what was
Or
that
on
one?
High
Is
School
that
Host Club.
Oh,
That one
okay.
gets
yeah? I
stuck
was
in
about
my
to say
head
it's the
all the
Host Club
time,
I
one.
mean,
dude. I'm not gonna lie.
the host club is actually the
Dun,
host
dun,
club.
dun, dun, dun.
The opening is always like stuck in my head. I'm gonna be
Dude,
honest.
I I have like I have girl pop like stuck in my head all fucking day, and I'm so proud to admit that. Like, despite the
Oh
fact that I
yeah,
love punk rock, like I got pop music in my head for fucking days, bro.
there's nothing wrong with that. Uh, Chow mein, I guess. I don't know. Don't ask me favorite things, okay? It's very hard for me to think of them. I don't
Have
know. I like a lot of things. But like also dim sum. Like so many things in dim
yeah.
sum. No,
Xiaolong
maybe
Bao.
yeah. Oh shit. See, I forget things. You put me on the spot and my mind forgets things. Fucking Xiaolong Bao. That is it. Give me some goddamn XLB any day. Let's go.
Yes.
I keep
Xiaolong
on
Bao goes hard.
I
I
keep
love it so
forgetting.
much.
I keep forgetting that Silent Voice does count as slice of life, and so does Devil Part Timer to a degree.
Devil was a part
Yeah,
timer is funny. I like how
I
he
love
that one
came
is
from
good.
fucking hell, but like working at a fucking fast food place is even
no.
worse.
He's working at McDonald's basically.
Yeah.
That was also good. That was also good move.
Oh,
But I think we do need to wrap things up. I'll be so for real. Like I need food, and all this talk about food has made me realize how badly I need it. I've I've had 2 pieces of toast and a tortilla today. I need to go get food.
you're going on to me about like eating, but do you want to have that?
Like sometimes I forget. Okay.
Shaking my
So,
head.
so So thank you, Frog and Nietzsche, for this wonderful episode of Cryptid Crew, episode 2. We will be back in a couple of weeks with episode 3.
Yeah, and next time we do come back, we're gonna have guest star Ryan Reynolds on the channel. He's gonna be here, and he's gonna talk to us about cryptid. Not really, but you know that'd be pretty cool.
I mean, after this is just maybe future plans, but like maybe next episode we might have like starting like special guests and such. But that's gonna just depend. Like I said, we genuinely love talking about cryptids and the folklore, creepypastas, or anything of like myth. That's just us, and I think there's some other people who genuinely enjoy the same thing.
Yeah.
But I do.
So
the whole crew is happy, so I do hope everyone have a wonderful night.
and I will be back tomorrow, starting Doom Eternal at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Nietzsche, when are you streaming next?
So I was about to say I should be. I don't know why my head's going blank, but I will be streaming Pathological 2 once again, since this game is a really interesting one. I gladly have, depending on the topic, if I have something to share. Seek, you have a lot of things to share. I mean, I literally had like a full. So this is just a small tangent. I was talking with my group that I played in the Marvel Rivals tournament. I said it'd be funny if a Genshin would just be in the D&D campaign. He's like, "What's that?" And it's like, "Bro, it's a Japanese folklore." And he was like so confused. I explained it like 2 times. He's like, "Oh, I guess that's interesting." And I just felt so disappointed because it sounded like he didn't really care.
Oh.
But then again, I mean, a lot of Japanese folklore is a little confusing, so like I do get it. But like I said, this is not like 100% a locked on thing yet. This is just like some discussion among us that we're trying to figure out. So
Wait,
it will.
Run that by me again. Did you say Among Us?
Bruh. Among Us.
Among Us. That's
Hollywood Dragon, I'm glad you're so well fed. That all sounds delicious. Nietzsche, who do you wanna raid out to?
I was gonna raid to Snow Milk Tea.
Okay, I'll do the same.
I can hold on. Let me post her name in chat so you can at least see how to spell it, just in case.
Here is our raid message, because I forgot that my other one is borked right now, so we're just gonna use this one.
Here's my raid
for the plushie raid.
For our beloved pumpkin raid. And I made sure that the heart pumpkin is flat out free. So
no, follower emotes don't work across other channels. He's sad.
It's so sad.
It is, but thank you everyone for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
We'll see you later.
Bye. Every one of you be careful. Watch out for Periwinkle Jefferson Sir the Third Esquire.
Of Boggerton.
Boggerton.
Yes,
yeah, Boggerton. Bye. Bye.